Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is David Palmer, the Leo King, and Craig Skidmore here for Deep Love Tarot for this week of February the 15th to the 21st of 2021. Thanks so much for being a part of HighVibe.tv. Of course, this is the show where we're going to go into your love life for each individual zodiac sign, which are, of course, picked at random. We do the collective reading first, and then, of course, we pull your different zodiac sign at random. What's going on, Craig?
Yo, what it do? Just another day in paradise. It's not freezing here, but we did just get a little bit of rain here in sunny Southern California. So we feel you, everyone out there, getting that massive cold front. Texas got some snow. Louisiana got some snow.
The windmills froze in Texas and Houston, and there's no power. And people had to this morning go to find heat, and they didn't know where to go. It's pretty gnarly.
It is gnarly.
I think it was 3.5 million people were without power.
I know, it's crazy to think. The times they are a-changing. Yeah,
especially what happens when there's no wind, and then what happens when
they freeze.
So, very Aquarian stuff going on. Of course, make sure that you check out HighVibe.tv. This is where, of course, the network is that we do all these awesome different shows, of course, spirituality, astrology, tarot, channeling, and so much more. I do all my daily video horoscopes, my weekly sun sign, and all of the other awesome shows that are out there. Make sure that you become a member. We have an app, of course. You can look down below, see all the different apps right here. We're on Apple TV, Roku. We're all over the place. And, of course, our website, highvibe.tv. And like I was saying earlier, we're going to do a collective reading. I'm going to just give you the quick astrology, and then we're going to pull the cards, see what's happening in your love life, and then we're going to pull your individual sun sign from the High Vibe.
I love gold. The gold chalice of love.
The gold chalice. So it's at random.
Of love.
And we do a lot there. It's quite a, I don't know how to say this, but it's, it's a world right now that is very uncertain. And also it feels like a major crossroad that, if you're on train tracks and you had to switch tracks in front of you, it's almost like, are they going to change? It's like, there's a little bit of a hesitation of what to do. Do I switch into that track or that track? We got a lot of weird things going on out there in the universe, and I'm not going to BS you because that's not what I do here on this show. I'm always real. There's some complicated stuff coming this week. There's some beautiful stuff too, but a lot of complicated stuff. So, when it comes to love in this week, definitely I don't want to have to circle back with you and give you the report afterwards, right? You want the information now. I don't understand this whole circle back thing and that we're seeing in the world. It's like, I'll circle back with you. You should know the info. And I think that's what North Node of Gemini is about right now. And I think that it's about getting that info. And so it's going to be definitely complicated times. So I think if you're ready, I think we should go in that collective reading and spit out some astrology real quick so you get a better understanding from that front, just overall. I won't do the astrology on every sun sign. That's what you can get on High Vibe. But then, of course, I do the tarot and see what's going on with your love life from that. And I might interject some astrology in there. Depends on what's going on, of course. And we do have a live chat. So if you're on highvibe.tv, make sure that you use the high chat, or it is a High Vibe chat, or just use the chat on the website or the mobile web. Or if you're on YouTube right now, definitely we see you in the chat too on there as well. And you're wondering what's up with the Leo King's energy? My chart is being bombarded through this. So I'm just, I'm not cruising for a bruising. I'm more like bruising through the cruising. That's a good one, right? Bruising through the cruising.
Not hurting for a squirting.
I like that one better, but yeah, so it's been challenging in my own life. I mean, I'm blessed, it's been, it's just part of life. And if I could, I know people out there are going through all unique, different challenges and stuff. But, you know, we all have to just keep showing up. And there was a part of me tonight, and we spent all here at the studios. Like, I was not going to show up to do the show. And then I just was like, I gotta show up and do this stuff. I mean, you know, the 9-year anniversary is coming up of every day, every week, literally. So, except for that 1 week I was out last week, or last year. And that's it, out of 9 years. So, even when it's crazy in your chart, there's always a way to show up in life. And, you know, it's not easy, but, you know, I really don't even know how to describe how I feel. It's just more like, you know, when you get all the planets literally pretty much in transit right now to your chart, exactly opposing and squaring and all that, all at the same time. I mean, you feel trapped. You feel energetically like blocked, or you kind of feel like a lack, or you just feel, you know, it just kind of feels like, ugh. And maybe overall, I mean, we're seeing that in the zodiac, although there's some people that are thriving under this vibe, right? You know, like Aquarius is definitely not an energy in my chart, so you know, I feel like, you know, I'm not gonna ever say that I feel like the world's lost its heart, right? I feel like we all got heart and there's love everywhere and it never goes away. It's just I think it's very hard for somebody like me, just seeing a lot of just like nonstop, just like attacking people, and everybody's afraid of people, or everybody's trying to, I don't know, justify some really weird shit. And it's just, you know, and I don't let the stuff online get to me and stuff, but, you know, just there's just so much misinformation out there about me right now. I'm just kind of like, I don't even know how to handle. I mean, that's why you don't see me on YouTube much. I think it's, you know, like breeding grounds for people just to, you know, that don't create content, to just try and take down content users or content people and all the work they put in and create their own stories in their head to make themselves feel better. It's just some truth. Anyway, let's go in the collective. So, this is the shattered reality I keep talking about. We're seeing Saturn square Uranus this week on Wednesday. Exact. These are two very different energies. Saturn constricting and much more rule-abiding, and Uranus much more liberating and much more rebellious. But Uranus being in Taurus and Saturn being in Aquarius, while the sun's finishing in Aquarius, literally, like the day that the sun's finishing in Aquarius, it's still with Saturn, still with Jupiter, and still with the Mercury Retrograde, and still with Venus. So there's a lot going on in Aquarius right now. And then there's this moment where Saturn squares Uranus, and it breaks the reality. It shatters it, and it also is, like I said, it's like train tracks moving into new directions. So when it comes to your love life, it's like, one, we've got to understand that all people right now are facing a challenge. Uranus is the collective. It's squaring Saturn. This is a collective moment that is difficult for the collective. Two, individuals, humans themselves as just individuals, each have their own set of challenges that they're all facing. There is no person on this planet right now that is not facing a challenge that is pretty intense. So some people are going to get in some other areas, some people are, and so when you approach love this week, you got to realize, like, anybody trying to bullshit you and try and tell you like everything's fine, I'm fine in every way. That might be true, but there's more to it, and there's some challenges, and maybe some people are not as open as a book, right? Like, so it's like, one thing about Aquarius is it can feel detached, and one thing about Taurus is it can feel stubborn, right? So it's like there's this kind of stubbornness, detachedness, and we're all wanting connection. We're all wanting, that's the higher form of Aquarius, and then we all want the good stuff and the beauty and the physical elements of things, and that's the good part of Taurus. So it's like, you know, there's these battles going on, especially in love right now, with Venus going to square Mars this week, with Mars in its detriment of Taurus, with Venus in Aquarius here. Again, more of that, you know, are we sensation seeking or are we sensation de-seeking and like almost like trying to avoid wanting to connect, like, or coming up with, you know, excuses from stubborn things like, well, you know, I just want to do this. This is what will make me feel good, but I can only feel good doing this myself. Like there's definitely a lot of like how to try to understand people, but also, you know, who's going to like step up to the plate this week in life, just in general for all of us in the collective and individuals themselves that are going to want to, you know, change this world by stepping into connection, by stepping through a lot of these different things. We're going to have the sun coming into Pisces this week and the end of Mercury Retrograde. And I feel that this Pisces sun is definitely going to take a lot of the load off of Jupiter and Saturn and Venus that's going through there, and a Mercury retrograde. It's highlighting that energy so much, which is crazy, and it's trying to figure out all these pieces. But it's going to be like a magical story that can only come through release, that can only come through surrender. Yeah, were they trying to break in? Yeah, I have nothing against homeless people, you know. I feel horrible for homeless people, but here at the studios, we have train tracks that are right along these studios here, and they're train tracks that they're only used like sometimes once a week, sometimes once a month. It's just a weird thing here in Huntington Beach, California, that they built a train track to move a bunch of like wood and logs and stuff, like to get all that weight like a mile down. And a homeless encampment that started with one person turned into two, turned into three, turned into four, turned into six, turned into eight. What was it? Huh?
The neighbors.
Oh, we just did get new neighbors too in another warehouse, and they do 24-hour shifts at that warehouse. So, but yeah, there's been some issues with the homeless here, and I have nothing against them, but I've had to like just go up to them and be like, yo, I'm cool, but like this has to stop. Like rummaging through the shit and then stealing shit and breaking into people's shit. And you know, it's just, I mean, these are like, I looked at the world and, you know, this will help maybe some people understand it from a Leo perspective, right? I looked at the world, I just got new neighbors in. Like, you know, when you own a business, you have to pay for your own trash bins, right? And so they moved into their 25,000 square foot warehouse and they dumped all their trash in my trash bin. So we had no way to put our trash bin, and we're building things here. And I have a big trash bin. And then I look behind that, and the homeless encampment has gotten crazy, and more drugs and more people and bikes showing up, and, you know, like homeboys like hanging out like as if like we found our home and doing shady shit. And I looked at the world and I'm like, this is very Aquarius. Like, it's not the light, like, of love, you know, like it feels very foreign, and it feels very like, for me, it's just like, you know, like, it's different. It's different. You know, and you see that continuing on even more in this last couple months because of all the Aquarius. Some people can, of course, want to get deep into the political aspects. I'm not here to do that tonight. But, you know, it's a rough world out there. And I think that this is a moment for us to realize it's foreign, it's different. We all have to find a way to get over our bullshit egos that are holding on to, you know, it's like vanity ego. It's like stubborn ego of like realizing that, you know, like, am I going to like let all that shit get to me out there, or even the way the world is, or the trash bin? I just was like, well, whatever. And then with the homeless thing, I set the main person straight. It was just like, yo, like, if you're going to be on that side of the tracks and I'm over here, like, this is the area I'm working my butt off to even have. Like, if you're going to go do your weird shit, go do it somewhere else, and I'll be cool, and I won't fucking bother you. And so there's going to be moments like that in relationships, right? Like, hey, and there's definitely a little bit of that, like, people are trying to circle back or look at old situations, especially with Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. And that finishes this weekend. Mars square Venus. People are definitely wanting to disconnect or connect. I mean, it's very uncertain. But the Pisces energy is going to teach us to learn to find empathy and to find also at the same time, though, are you going to follow your gut? Because that's the only thing that we got. This is such a hard transit this week with Saturn square Uranus. I mean, that is just, there's no way to figure it out. There's no way of controlling anything. There's no way to make a decision based upon some sort of logical point of view. And then Mercury retrograde this whole weekend, it's, motion that's slowing down, which gets to its stationary position and goes stationary retrograde to stationary direct and stops. So, this is where we have to follow our gut. That Pisces energy is going to tell us to follow our intuition. It's with Neptune that's in Pisces. And then when you have Mars square Venus, it's like, where are you not acting enough on maybe how to connect? Because Mars is detriment. It's slow in Taurus. And it gets too caught up in, I need this, I need that, I need that. And sometimes a connection is what builds things opposed to having everything. I use the analogy of it's like, you know what, I'm not going to be in a relationship till I'm able to, I don't know, lose 5 pounds. So I'm going to go do 20 weeks of this. It's like, well, what if somebody likes you the way that you are, like now? And it's everything that you've ever wanted. Like, people just create excuses too. And one thing about excuses, and excuses are ruled by Aquarius. There's an excuse why this science experiment went bad. There's an excuse why the rocket blew up. There's an excuse when you lose your impeachment case now and that you're still won. Like, very Aquarius. And that's what this Aquarius energy is doing. And, it's kind of showing where it's just, that's pretty crazy and that's pretty insane. And I think that excuses come from where it's like, because that's why the sun's a detriment. It does not like to be in Aquarius. Mars doesn't like to be in Taurus. The energy is a definition, defining things, while there's some pressure on Saturn in its home sign, being scored by Uranus, which is the planet that rules Aquarius. Yeah, it's like, this is a time where it's very hard to define things because people are afraid. People are afraid to define things. Most people are very afraid. Most people let the world define them. They let the media define them. They let Fauci define them. They let everything in the world define them. And how's that going to work in love life for you when you're letting your excuses define you? You're letting your fears define you. You're letting all these things that make literal craziness be your trumpet of truth. You know what I mean? Like, this is where you're going to have to really see your own patterns, see that everybody's going through their stuff, and be compassionate. And also at the same time, know how to tap in. There's souls that get it. There's souls that don't. And this is where that line's got to be drawn now. Because at this point now, after everything that's happened, major things are going to have to shift. I don't know who that is. It looks like maybe it was just the rain. No, there was just some person there. Or maybe that was Maya leaving. I don't think Anne locked the door. Sorry, again, Aquarius stuff, right? And that's the other weird part of when you have a homeless encampment by your business and you're running things. You have to keep the doors locked and every garage door, and between, there's a 13,000 square foot facility. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of entry. And, they test things at night. They do weird shit like that. They're up all night fucking doing weird shit. And, very Aquarius. Aquarius rules homelessness and bums. And there's nothing wrong with them. But it's just like, they can take it too far too. Everybody can. People on the other side that are the most opposite of homeless can take it too far. but we have to learn to all have to like work together, you know? So, we all good? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it was very weird, actually. It was, there was some guy with, you know what he did? This is so Aquarius, too. The guy actually came to the front door and he used it because it's raining as a place for him to stay dry until he could figure out a ride or something. But then he ended up running in the rain and it's pouring and it didn't even work for him. You know, so some people can do things that think, oh, I could figure this out. This will be the right place. And then it's like, wait, this is the worst idea I ever did, because he went out of his way to try and go undercover. And then he ended to run longer in the rain. So, you know, it's one of those things in life where I just think, you know, just try and make things a lot simpler. Like, because, like Craig had to go move his car. Like, that's how weird things get lately, you know? And it's one of those things in life where I've been just realizing as an astrologer, and I'll open up personally to you all, since one of the main reasons why I'm not doing things on YouTube. And I'm just like, I'm really like knowing I have to, I mean, it's just sad. It's just sad when you know, I look at social media, to me, has always been something that it's been an offering, a free offering, a gift to people. Not to serve myself, but just a gift to people. Like, a place to give truth, a place to give these things. And now it's just turned into complete crazy stories. You know, just typing in my name now on Google, just over all the reality show years, to every TV show, to all the drama that people assume that my life has turned into because I'm so open about my life, has turned into just the most craziest stories where they're literally going, well, I saw this story on Instagram and da-da-da-da, and fucking just like everything from being called a white supremacist because I have an American flag to like, and it's not just like one person, right? We're talking about like forums. We're talking about like massive amounts to being conspiracy theorists. And one of the hardest things for me in trying to understand, because relationships are a lot more than love, right? And I have to show love. And one thing, you know, UAC, which is United Astrology Conference 2018, I was not wanted there. Like even the boards were not wanting me there. And I got shot down to try and go help for free and like try and help them raise the awareness of astrology and do all this stuff. And I was like, whatever, I'll just buy a booth, and the biggest booth, and I'll interview other astrologers there. And it was one of the best things I did. But, you know, even with resistance, you just got to still show up and be who you are and try and shift people. And I think that, you know, it's difficult because now some of those people I interviewed are just sitting there and basically watching my stuff, and without even having the balls to fucking call me out, right? Whatever they disagree with and what I say, like, paint this picture like they got it somewhere else, or they don't name who it is, but it's obviously clear as day. Yet they had no problem coming on my show, and no problem, like, you know, but they've never done any of that shit for other people. They don't open their doors. They don't showcase. Like, this channel has shown literally over 100 guests over 9 years, and hundreds or thousands of different people in the crowds and talks and just, you know, it's just is sad. It just, you know what, I'm at a place where, you know, Aquarius is teaching me, you know, like, you can't bug out on the world and bug out on people just because people bug you out. But at the same token, just like, you know, there's a lot of people who, and I can understand, that don't put in the work, that don't, that that don't have an ability to define their own truth through spirit and whatever spirit is giving them, and follow the stories that are being projected on a television screen and in our phones and the media. And while tearing down the people that tried to bring them up. And that's, I think, the hardest thing to see, because we can see that in love too. You could be in a relationship and you're being torn down, and all you're trying to do is lift someone up, and they just keep tearing you down. And I don't want people to have to go through that. And you know, Aquarius also is kind of and Pisces is the outer realms, but it's also the energy of where people kind of leech on for the free ride. People rebel because they feel things are unfair, and they might take an idea which might have some truth to it, but then apply it to people that are their brothers and sisters, and not realize that they were there for you and they were doing things for you, and they'll turn your back on you. And it creates a feeding frenzy, especially with Taurus and Aquarius squares, of people who are just desperate, and it creates desperation. And when people are desperate, they'll do fucking crazy shit. And it saddens me, because desperation is something that you choose to go into. So.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of the times like I was watching one of those, you know, like Pablo Escobar things or whatever it is on Netflix. Thought I clicked to me, but it's kind of like the power vacuum, you know. And we touched on this in full disclosure, you know, when it's like they feel like maybe the individual's up at top, you know, or in a weak moment. And this is any part of life, you know, and you see that it's kind of like that attacking, because they're trying to get there. They're trying to get theirs, which is great, you know, that taking that initiative, you know, and wanting to make a name for yourself and putting in the work to do it is all great things, but it's got to be the right vibe back behind it, you know. If it's from fucking trickster energy, at the end of the day, it's going to catch up to you one way or another, you know. So hopefully a lot of people can work their way out of that aspect and do it by building themselves up, by not chopping people down. You know, there's so much information to get out. There's so many positive thoughts to get out, and there's so much hard work that you can showcase. But come from a right spot when you're doing it. Don't come from trying to pull individuals down. Don't try to pull them down to your level. You know, let them succeed in what they're doing. Let them continue to be doing right, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, somebody here put, some shady sorcery.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I would say that's what it is.
True,
and you know, it's funny because you always will see at the beginning of these videos, like, you woke yet? Like, I don't think people get it. Like, that's a joke on those people that say woke. Like, it wakes people up to kind of be like, so what woke, right? Like there's always a counterfeit version of the truth right now. It's awakening, not just being woke. Woke is so low. Like, you woke yet? Like, I'm feeling woke because I'm doing this thing that I'm justifying the right thing and the righteousness. Have you had that convo with God yet? Are you doing that in your own life? Because that's what we're seeing right now. And that's, I think, the beauty of Aquarius. And you might find that in partnerships right now a lot, right? The people that are out saying they're doing the righteous thing, and it's like they don't even know how to be righteous to people in their own life. Yet they're trying to project that whole, I'm so righteous and I'm doing the right thing for the people and all this shit, and this group and this group and that group and this. It's like, really? Like, do you even know how to do that for yourself? And there's always a ton of people behind them that are like, this motherfucker ain't righteous. Like, what the fuck? Like, and people are following those people. And what's crazy to me, after the impeachment hearing that happened this weekend and the acquittal, was that the media just continued to push the lies. It was like, okay, like, let's just take simple shit. Whether you like the former president or not, motherfucker was acquitted. Okay, imagine if you were found non guilty and the media was still trying to say you did it. Put it on yourself. That's what Hermeticism is. So you might have a partner right now that like, you know you're in your truth. The universe showed it, but they don't want to believe it. That's South Node and Sag. And that's moving into Pisces with the square to the moon and with the Mercury retrograde happening. This is going to be crazy town. And it already has been crazy town, and it continues to become more crazy town. These Saturn-Uranus squares are going to happen all year. And I'm just preparing people for it. And it goes crazy town when the sun is in Pisces and the moon quarter squares it in Gemini, while Mercury's retrograde with the North Node in Gemini, the dispositor of it. Crazy. So prepare for a week of craziness. Prepare for, now crazy can go good, but it could also, you know, anything that anybody feels like they're in that sure footing, and I'll say that one more week, because this is that really extreme moment of that whole, like, anybody who's in that, like, Taurus, Mars, especially getting squared by Venus, or that Taurus, Uranus getting squared by Saturn, both in Aquarius, right? It's like anybody who thinks that they're so sure is just going to be just devastated because they're choosing to be in devastation because they're not able to see that there is an unclarity, which is not that you can't see so much, but the unclarity is the uncertainty that you're afraid to step into, which uncertainty can actually be looked at as liberation, the liberation to see all possibilities. So let's see what's in this collective reading for...
Come on down.
Come on down.
What an exciting night so far.
It's been, you know,
just the real deal. A real deal.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I just it's not easy doing this light work, and especially now when you have these wannabe saying that they're fucking woke astrologers saying that it's called gaslight workers now, when I'm like, that's exactly what you're doing, bro. And putting down people who question anything now, anything, just calling it conspiracy and like acting like they know everything when it's like they just like are desperate for views and desperate for attention. Knight of Swords upright is our first card for the collective in love. The Ten of Pentacles is our challenge card that we got here. Interesting. Our overall that we got is the Seven of Swords reversed. Or, no, wait, yeah, Seven of Swords reversed. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. And our way we get through the challenge is the Nine of Wands upright. So this is this energy romantically wise where it's going to happen really fast, in or outs. Okay. Also could feel save the day energy. Knight of Swords tries to also fix things really quick. It tries to jump into things really quick. It's got to go in really quick. So it's a very masculine energy too. Like, I got to get in there and I'm going to go save the damsel in distress. And it's like the fireman. I got to go save the cat out of the tree. You know, or it's just like, I got to save myself from this horrible situation, or I am not going to go through this situation anymore. I'm going to change it. And this could be relationships coming quickly, fast together, like lightning bolt, and repelling like lightning bolt. We got the challenge is the Ten of Pentacles. That there's issues in relationships right now in love that have to deal with this whole kind of like togetherness, because, you know, the Ten of Pentacles is where you build the castle, all the families together, everybody can build this, you know, unitedness together, and there's a challenge there. That there's something feeling off, that there's like something definitely missing to create. And when the Seven of Swords is reversed as the overall, it's like pulling yourself out of lies, deceit. Look at being barcoded and being like manipulated and being, you know, like, so there's a lot of this, like anybody who you just feel like it's a lie, or it just is the big lie, like this is the overall of like letting go of the lie, letting go of like the bullshit. And this Nine of Wands shows up to help to get you through this Ten of Pentacles, and it's like, are you trying to defend and hold something that's this false illusion in the mirror that you are in something wholesome when you're really not? Like, this is going to be a big wake up that's going to happen. And, you know, that's why I feel this Knight of Swords is coming in so quick to rattle the cages or go into the excitement or exit the hell fast. Like, this is fast. This is not, let's talk and then let's walk and let's talk for a month and no. Either A, this is an instant connection this week, or it's an instant, it doesn't matter how long it was built, could be destroyed instantly. Just like, what's happening? Or it finds crazy solutions to problems fast. But does it solve the problem of wholesomeness when there's deceits and there's lies, there's manipulation? Why do we get this Knight of Swords? We got the World card reversed. So, yeah, I mean, hate to say it, folks. This World card reversed is not, it's almost like we don't want to circle back into something. We also want to try and find the world that we want, and we want to do it really quick. And I would say on exits, it's more like, it's because you've been too afraid to deal with situations that you're ready to just fucking, at this point, you just like jump because you just let it get to a point where you can't reset to a new system. But we also might not want to continue the wheel. We might not want to continue around in certain places. And one thing you want to pay attention to by jumping in or out of a situation this week is like, is your worlds aligned? Do they make sense? Why did the lie come up? Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, I would say that it's like you're going to see through partnerships or new partnerships, the falsities of what has been able to be created, or the self-worth energy, or what is promised, or what is able to be actually physically done. People who have a lot of like inner issues with their values are going to show what they do to lie to try and hold together that, image of themselves, that ability to, I can create for you. It reminds me of sugar daddies. Like, oh yeah, I got you. But like the second the pandemic hits, right? It's like, oh no, I don't need you anymore. I got to go back to my real wife and my kids. It's like shit like that. Or it's like, people who say that they're all this and that, and they're not, and that's a little difficult. We got the Pluto card. I mean, this is going to be intense. This is going to be deep. It's going to cut to the deepest parts of who we are. Now, it could form a massive amount of transformation, of course, but that also comes with also connection or disconnection in a deep way. And so this is going to be pretty intense, just in the sense of, wow, you're coming into a place where it's either all in or all out, especially that's aligned up with the Knight of Swords and the World card reversed. Your other overall from the Oracle here is trust. Are there trust issues going on about the wholesomeness and the illusion of what you're trying to hold on to defending? Especially that we got the lie over here. That's going to be the interesting part. You have to trust in the transformational process and the truth. And I think it's not about trust of the other person or stuff like that, or trust. It's just like this overall trust that transformation's happening, and that it feels right because it feels like it's going to be wholesome, and it feels like you don't have some sort of wall up, or you're too afraid to kind of like go deep and face it and see if it really is wholesome or not, and really see if it has it all. And this is going to be the most interesting, the shadow card that comes up here with the Seven of Swords reversed with this Queen of Pentacles. And we got the black flower fragrance. It's like there's illusionary, like deceptive attraction effects happening, right? Like kind of trying to reel people in to stay or to come in, or, like I feel like, it's like, I think that you've fallen for the false scent, or you can smell the false scent, and it's like, don't go into that false scent energy. Like, don't even fuck around with it. It's not worth it. It's not going to take you into the best place. And I think that this is us, smelling the shit, smelling the real shit, and being like, you know what, I don't know if I want to continue doing that, or, you know what, you look interesting, you look intriguing, but I can see through the bullshit right now. Like, we got Libra, 11th house, Mars. So, I mean, this is definitely going to be a full look at every little aspect of what we want to move into, or what we want to define a relationship life with. It is a little difficult though, because with Mars and Libra, it's a detriment, and it's a very like kind of needs to be pushed into things energy, right? So like somebody, like a friend might like help push you in the right direction this week. Like, hey, they might hit you up this week and be like, Leo, like I heard your boyfriend like fucking trying to throw you out the window. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe it's time to go. Or
yeah,
like,
definitely time to go if that happens.
well, or you know, they know things about that person too, like, hey, listen. But again, you don't want to get into hearsay, but it's like, you know, there's like personal, you know, gossip comes up with this, gossip of the new exciting connection to gossip of, you know, what help do you need to get through this. There's a lot of that this week.
I think there's a need for tapping into our own self-power too, and kind of stepping out of our comfort zone. It's stepping into the knowingness of our self-worth, you know, and actually having confidence in that self-worth. Because it's one thing to kind of like say it, you know, that you're a strong individual or that you know your worth even. But actually, like when it comes down to the deepness of ourselves, you know, are we being real and 100% with ourselves? And are we actually putting that effort into standing true and standing strong? You know, and being positive when it comes to an outlook, you know, that we're going to be faced with. How you react is really going to, you know, change the trajectory of where it's going to take you. And if you can have that strong conviction in knowing yourself, it doesn't really matter what's going to happen, because you know you're going to have that ability to stand strong no matter what.
Yeah. And especially if somebody's trying to throw you out the window, like,
yeah, know your worth and
but
get
like,
on out of there.
It's almost like you had plenty of chances at that point. That's the shattered reality. It's like you let the reality shatter because you didn't want to face reality.
Face it and embrace it.
It's not easy. It's not easy to look back. It's easy to put blame on why relationships don't work out and then like put it on the other person. We all do it, right? It's not easy to take the time. Sometimes it takes months. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes it takes some people, they don't do it at all. And I think that hurts people a lot.
Right.
But it's moments when people do that work and even if they do come back, it's a Mercury retrograde. Maybe they do come back and they say sorry or that whatever. Sometimes they can clear things and clear that cord and clear that karma. And I'm not talking about throwing people out of like fucking windows, but I'm just saying that like, you know, I think that, you know, it takes people time. And I think that, you know, people who do the work, they're always going to be ones that are going to be like, hey, like it's a two-way street relationships. And on my street, I failed in this area. And people that look in that area of life more, those are people that are of integrity. But when it's constantly holding on to the issues that they feel that you do and constantly, you know, it's like, are you really going to sit in that shit? Are you really going to sit in that shit where they're throwing it all on you? They're throwing it all on you and they don't ever fucking want to talk about what they're not doing properly on their street in the relationship? They're definitely not on Sesame Street. It's for damn sure. It's for damn sure. Well, the first zodiac sign this week is Cancer. We broke the curse of every week being Aries for the last 3 weeks. So maybe Aries finally got their message.
Crab people, come on down.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So we got Cancer first. Let's see what the Cancers are doing right now in their love lives. All right. First card that we got for Cancer is the Two of Cups in reversed. The Ten of Pentacles in reversed is the challenge. Your overall is the Seven of Pentacles. That's kind of crazy. We just saw the Seven of Pentacles reversed. We just saw the Ten of Pentacles upright. We didn't get that Two of Cups in reversed. The Soulmate card reversed. The way that we get through the challenge, Cancer, is the Knight of Cups in reversed. So there's definitely a soulmate issue here, feeling disconnected from a soul, or just the total like non-connection anymore emotionally, or, you know, Cancer, you know, feeling like you're, you know, this is definitely the search for the soulmate if you're alone, like, and feeling like it's not found and almost wanting to give up. or not feeling like anybody's on mostly the same page. 2, this is also where, this is where the big question's going to be. It's like, is this really this week? Like, is your reality really mixing well with this? Is this your soulmate? Are you guys on the same emotional page at all? 10 of Pentacles reversed is showing as the challenge is like nothing has been really built anymore. Like the challenge is realizing, I think, that like the illusion that you built something together, but it didn't go where you wanted it to go. And I think that, that's a hard challenge, because I think it's almost like, look at this fortress we have. It's like, there's no fortress there. Or it's didn't realize that you had a fortress the whole time too. But is it a fortress if there's no emotion? And the emotion's connected more to what's being built opposed to like the actual person? This overall here, the 7 of Pentacles is, this has to deal with the deceit, the lies, the tricks. Actually, it's not swords, it's Pentacles. Thank God. I was wondering. I was like, that would have been weird. But this is where you have to realize, like, you have to put work in. And the only way you get your investment in life is when you put your work in. And, what are you getting in your return? Are you getting the return that you need in relationships? Because whatever the situation here is, you got the Knight of Cups in reverse to get through this whole challenge of like building. It's like, you need to stop being so emotionally stuck on something that's nothing at all. That's what's the craziness. It's like overemphasis on something that is really like, it's like grabbing onto just the most bare minimum and giving it all the weight in the world. Why is that 2 of Cups coming up here? The Emperor card. Well, I think that the Emperor gets what it wants. Maybe you're trying to force yourself to get the way that you want, but it's also a very ego card. Even in this deck, like, there's pills of ego. I feel like, this could be both ways. Maybe the person you're dealing with has such a big ego that they can't connect emotionally with you. 2, maybe your ego and how you want things emotionally is pushing things and pushing them away. Or your guys' identity centers are just not even close to alignment, whether you're single or not, or whoever you're trying to date, or whatever's coming up. But, this also is like, okay, there's work here and there's work to do, but it's like, has the investment paid out? Like, how long do you just keep investing until like you're in a GameStop situation, the Death card. Wow. So this is where it's like, you gotta realize that there's some investment here that's just no longer working. And the solution to that, you got the air element, so the communication, the environment you're in, there's definitely some communication issues. But again, I'm gonna be honest, because I thought that was 7 of Swords, and my guys immediately were saying there was some shadiness. It's almost like I just feel like the shadiness is not communicating the truth, and there's a lot of false, like, egoic, like, it's almost like, I'm gonna say this, Cancer, it's almost like, for those that are really connected to something, and they're like, oh my God, it's like you're more attached to the ego so much that you're communicating to the world. It's like how, like, the pictures are on Facebook and all that stuff. That's more, you're more connected to that instead of the reality of like, I'm not really into this, but like, at least I'm showing that I have something. And I think if you're single, it's almost like how you communicate. It's almost like you don't want to come off as a tyrant. And that's not going to be able to be communicated with very well. You got the Talisman. So yeah, it's like opening the key to the right door. It's almost like, it's like, I feel like, there's a great opportunity in life to open the key to the real world that you want. And maybe you fucked that up. Maybe you had the key and you never used it, or maybe, finally the key's here and you're trying to use the key on something that's just not going to build anything, or it doesn't even hold the door that actually the key's for. This is definitely the talisman is definitely a card that has to deal with a very divinely guided and very higher, energy doorway. And I feel that the air coming in with this is like start to think about really where is where is the door that you can unlock, that you can really go, that actually is going to be real. The shadow that you pulled up is the fated for suffering with the death card and the 7 of Pentacles. Like, these are just investments gone bad that you have to start to take the truth about. I don't know how to be more real about you with it. This is shattered reality beginning. And everybody's been wondering for the last probably month and a half, 2 months, why the Leo King saying 2021 is shattered reality? Because, the reality just keeps getting shattered, and here's the beginnings of it. And this is where cancers are sitting, is maybe the shadow is that you feel like you're always fated to suffer. You're suffering yourself because you're creating the fate of that suffering by staying in non-fated, situations that you needed to have end, that you needed to have, but you don't end it. So you suffer through that. Oh gosh. Really? Christmas.
Lose it?
Yeah. No, 6th house, Neptune. Why don't you give your little thoughts and I'll throw the card. Or the last dice.
Well, I think you definitely touched on it with that air element. The key, I think communication is definitely going to be key with this, and kind of shaking it up a bit. We all get kind of put in this stagnant place in life. It's easy to fall into, and it's easy to just kind of go about the day-to-day basics and just kind of go through the motions. And I think really laying all maybe the griefs, but also the appreciations as well, because there's always going to be some sort of appreciation, even within some dark moments or within some dark times. And that's what you kind of need to be able to find and pull out and present to the table if you do want to continue with it. If you don't, that's a whole nother story. But at least embrace the happy times and embrace the strength and embrace the knowingness that you're going to get from pulling out from this. So what it is that you do and what it is the time that you're going to be able to spend with yourself is you're going to be able to apply that knowingness too. You're going to be able to apply a certain almost destiny or certain fated events, because then you can put forth your focus into that energy. You can put that focus back into yourself. Maybe it's been a while since you've sit down and actually had that truth, looked into the mirror and hold yourself accountable. There's a gentleman that I've talked about many times, David Goggins. He talks about having that accountability mirror, looking into that. Because at the end of the day, you're the only person that's going to be able to hold yourself to the promises that you're making to yourself and to the promises that you're making to your partner as well. They're not going to be able to hold it to. Maybe your love for them or your appreciation for them or respect for them is going to hold you in line. But when it comes down to it, it's only going to be your truth and your ability to stand strong within every moment. How you doing over there, my friend?
I'm cold.
Yeah. A little crispy.
Yeah. Libra, Neptune, 6th house. So these are relationship reality delusions that need to be cleared up, and there's something amiss here. It's almost like, things are working, but there's no more oil in the engine, and it's about to pop. And it also means that too much criticism or living your life in a certain way with the illusion that the relationships can be that exact way, when it's too much precision that's not precise. It's too much, it's gotta be this way when it needs to be more free and open, and this is strangulating to me. It's like the delusion of strangulation, when it's about the freedom to not be so I'm just gonna say it, just like a little critical little bitch, that energy has to end, whether that's your partner, whether that's you.
Everybody in the world.
This one just leaped out.
Nice. What do we got there?
Leo.
Oh. Well, there you go, mate.
Yeah. Kind of wild.
May the cards be ever in your favor. Isn't that what they say on that Katniss movie?
It is.
The Mockingbird? The Mockingjay?
I think it is.
May it be ever in your favor, Leos and Leo risings, like myself.
All right, Leo, let's see what's going on. First card that we got here is the Hermit reversed. Well, that's good. Thank God. Challenge is the Queen of Pentacles. The overall is the Moon. And the way through the challenge is the King of Cups. Well, this isn't too bad, Leo. I mean, the Hermit reverse is definitely, this is you crawling out of, trying to process things too much and ready to move into at least back into the world, back into the understanding relationships. I feel like this Hermit reverse has definitely been kind of, has retreated so much that it's done retreating. And with this Queen of Pentacles as the challenge, it's almost like maybe there's the challenge of you don't know if there's anybody that wants to support you out there. Maybe you don't feel like your partner supports your value. They don't see the value. They don't see how much you can hold on. Or you feel like that you don't know how to hold on to other people's worlds for them. And maybe they might feel that. That Moon cards are overall here, Leo. So it's like this is definitely a very emotional moment for you. And I think knowing the past and how that's affected you, and also how you can move forward now with this Hermit reversed, and that there's an emotional ability there. I mean, you got the King of Cups as the way to get through the challenge of any insecurities, especially not emotional insecurities, but like more physical manifestation, self-worth ones, and the ability to create the love of your life. Like, this is where you drop the bomb of your true emotions, like all the way. And what's going on with this Hermit reversed? The Ten of Wands reversed. It's like you can't really let go of being in your kind of like own space until you just learn to finally let go of all the extra weight. Although I feel that you've let go of the extra weight, and that's almost the problem. Is you're like, you almost want, you're like a scale just waiting for somebody to put some weight on it. And so it could feel very empty. And it could feel empty in your partnership. They don't want to put any weight on you, or they don't see you anymore energetically. Like, you almost feel like there's nobody to like kind of put all your grandiose energy on. And this Moon card reversed comes with the Queen of Cups. So, I mean, definitely you're here with the Queen and the King of Cups, the Moon card. So, it's you too, but it also could be a situation that's really just like, I mean, this is dealing with the past. This is a lot of cups and the Moon, but a lot of emotion. But there's a lot of emotion, and there's a lot that's been dropped energetically. And so I feel that Leos are just in the space of like wide open arms, wide open emotional arms. But maybe the complication might be finding people that are on that same page, or if your partner's there, or anybody that would understand, like that has a heart, that has it. And this is the relationship transit for Leos. This is Leos, like, here I am, like, and it's like, is anybody there for Leos, or just does you feel like a king or queen in the castle alone? Doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or not. But you're definitely emotional. And then there's Saturn who drops in. Now, that's kind of interesting with the Hermit. I think that you've definitely dealt with a lot of karmic stuff, and you've definitely been doing the work to get to the truth. And so you're at the truth, and that truth looks like it's connected to some very powerful emotional and, getting through some self-worth stuff, or being able to hold things on, and it's spiritual cleansing. I think that you've had to clear a lot of situations out. Energetically, cord cut stuff, spiritually. It's kind of crazy. I had a dream about demons chasing me last night, and it made me do a lot of cleansing. That I feel with that Hermit reverse, that Ten of Wands reverse, this Saturn here, it's very karmic and cut the karma, and then the spiritual cleansing with the King of Cups. It's like, you know, it's just like, this is like Leos have done a lot of clearing. But then when you do a lot of clearing, it's like, what the fuck's next? I want to go build something. I want to emotionally connect to something, and you don't know what to do. And the shadow of that is due to the fact of Queen of my world. I think that, you know, when the world's not all the way that you want it to look, you know, it almost kind of can feel very sad or very hard, right? And also maybe you want it to be a certain way and it's not showing up that way. And I feel that, you know, it's like, just realize the energy's there, and don't go hermit yourself. Don't go add weight to things that you wouldn't even want to be in, you know? And just realize that, stay in that open space and show up with your emotions, and people either see it or they don't. That's what it is. Or, you know, if somebody's approaching with you and the emotions and you feel the same way, then you got to prove that you are the one that can hold those emotions too, and not doubt yourself that it will go physically bad and so forth. Not be afraid. Saturn in Sag in the 11th. So yeah, I think that this is like, you know, before it's just like opening, I think that this is closing a lot of, you know, a lot of possibilities that aren't possibilities with people. It's like narrowing the field so down to where it's like, you know, it's like, or just narrowing the understandings of your partnership. And like, you know, there could also be difficulties here with friends if you're in a partnership. There could be difficulties here if you're single with other people and their beliefs about you, you know, like spreading misinformation, gossip. And it could be a little difficult for you to deal with. You also you have to watch how you could be a little kind of hardcore belief and be a little bit more open to maybe hearing other suggestions about in a partnership and so forth. So it's a little complicated, but it doesn't look too bad.
Looks like few people have been having some strange dreams. And even us here at High Vibe kind of all had. Is that something transit-wise that's going on right this minute in the last few days?
Well, the moon was with Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. Square the nodes. While at that same time, Saturn was starting to square Uranus. The new moon had happened. Jupiter, Venus, Mercury retrograde over Jupiter and Venus. That's a lot from the outer realms and weird, you know, elements to all that. And you know, Neptune's starting to get back to where it went retrograde, so it's almost out of its shadow. I mean, like, you know, it's definitely some weird stuff going on. We're in a weird world, and then our dreams are trying to help us with the guides too. Libra.
I think we're kind of stepping out of that dream world and into this new reality, and kind of been processing you know, the subconscious, that we didn't even necessarily know these thoughts were conjuring up inside of us, you know, and then it's like, boom, just coming to light, and it's having to adapt to that.
Just a little adaptation.
Little adaptation up in this life.
A little adaptation.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's going on with the Libras. The Emperor reversed as the first card. The Ace of Swords reversed as the challenge here. The World reversed as your overall. And you got the Six of Pentacles as your way through. Libras are definitely not confident right now. Or you're dealing with a very unconfident partner. Or you're unconfident about where your partner's at with you. One of the three. Or you're just unconfident about taking action and getting what you want in relationships right now. And the challenge here is that I think that you're afraid of a reset, or you're afraid of actually piercing and actually going into the beautiful new reality and clearing the air into a new space, because you're stuck in the same loop. You keep doing the same thing. It's like, this has to deal with your friends. This has to deal with the world that you're in. You know, overall, I think that there's a little bit of an issue here. The Emperor's just continuing to not get what you want for love, because you keep going after this world that's upside down from the relationship life that you want to have. Like, you're living the opposite life, although you might be in it and be like, what do you mean? I'm living it. It's like, are you really? Six of Pentacles, I mean, the way through this is like showing up that you have a lot to give for love. But like, are you going to, do you have enough to give? One, that's a big question. Are you giving to something that's not giving you the actual piercing of the veil that you want to have? Are you the one who is needing help? So the Six of Pentacles looks at it from both angles. Are you the charitable one, or are you needing the charity? Are you the charity case, actually? And sometimes it's like flipped. You believe you need charity when really you're the charitable one, or I'm the charitable one, but really you're the one who needs some charity here going on because you're not getting what you need. Page of Swords upright. I think that, yeah, it's time to look into different new places, new messages, and communicate what you really want. I think that that's an issue that's been coming up a lot lately in the Libra readings. You know, communication is one thing by just throwing a line, but it's another by actually communicating and acting on it. That's why the Emperor's here reversed. There's like, it's like, I think that you're like, if you're a Libra in a relationship, you're like playing with the truth because you're afraid to do the truth. So you like want to get it out there to wait for your right moment. But like all Libras that get stuck in relationships, they also have to talk to another partner and see the lifeboat to the next relationship. That's how Libras work. They just don't break up and go single, and you know, there's always something enticing them in a different direction. Single Libras just aren't showing up to what they want. They're not saying, they're communicating, but they're not showing up, and they have to actually do something about it. In the world reversed, with the Eight of Cups reversed, it's like, man, I'm going to be honest, Libra, I think that you're just having troubles letting go of, you know, the way that you live your life, the world that you live around, the energy around that world. It's just not conducive to even creating anything right now of actually piercing the veil where you want to go. It feels like an endless loop, an endless cycle, and you might enjoy it, but it feels like a charity case. It feels like, you know, like some people are maybe using you, or, you know, this is like stuck on friendship. You're not walking away from some situation, whether it's your circle of friends, your group, the world you're living in, or a story that's already come to an end. The world doesn't work and you're too afraid to let it go. Your only upright card is Page of Swords, which is look in new directions, look out wider, start thinking about new things, find the real excitement in your life and do it instead of the false. This is false excitement over things that might not even be relationship related, that's blocking all the relationship stuff. You got the Jupiter abundance card. Hello, this card came with the Emperor. Like, take action on what you really want and the doors will open, or what you don't want and the doors will open. Like, stop staying in the middle on things. Stop playing this. And especially when we come to these middle cards here, you know, this Six of Pentacles with the Ace of Swords reversed. I mean, that is just like it's almost like, what are you doing? Why are you out there just giving away all of your energy, and it's not even doing anything? And you got friends. You know what's so funny is I was bringing up friendships and circles and stuff. This is a bunch of wasted time on a bunch of friendships that it's almost like that's your out dealing with your relationship issues. So if you're in a relationship, it's like, well, we got friends, or I'm dealing with my friends. If you're single, it's like, well, I'm dealing with my friends. Both, it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, my friends. But it's like that's your way out. That's your way of dealing with it. Why are you having troubles letting go of this road? That's the big thing of how you're just like your whole love life's going. I won't cry for you. I think that this is a very clear indication that, you know, you don't want to let go. Yet you do, but I don't know. It's like something's going to have to jolt you enough to finally do it, because you're numb. That's what it is. You're numb, but you kind of like it. You're too afraid to feel fully. It's like, if you watch Equilibrium, the movie, like, you're taking the shot that they take to numb their emotions. And there's like this numbing that you're addicted to. And trying to just like get diverted off other things, and you're missing out on a bunch of abundance of the love life that you could have by actually taking action and speaking up and looking in the direction that you want. You you got 6th house Capricorn Mars. I mean, it's time for you to take more seriously your reality and your work and what you really want in your life. I mean, like Mars is exalted here. In the 6th house, though, it gets a little strangulated by, maybe it's time to set the goals to a little bit more than just the same old of every day. It's almost like you're just kind of living like a hamster in a cage, and like it's time to kind of confront that and realize that you can glorify your life by actually, making changes in your reality and also not putting authority and ownership and so much integrity into a lifestyle or the life that you don't want to live in your relationship life or your single life or whatever. Like, this is like where you gotta take the action to get what you want here, and you gotta be precise on what it is. You can't be like, well, I'm just kind of easygoing with it so much that you know what I mean? Like, this easygoing thing's not working anymore. That's what I'm actually picking up. The easygoing thing's not working anymore. That's the numbing effect that you're doing.
Don't just tune out. But it is knowing what it is that you actually want. Knowing it fully, deeply inside yourself and acting on it. Not just being a sideline observer in your own life, but actually acting on these desires, and acting on these dreams that you have, and putting yourself in the game fully. I'm not saying that you've been checked out, or maybe just not fully paying attention, we'll say, as to what your dreams are, or just saying, oh, those can wait till tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow's today. No time like the present, right? And that's what it comes down to. It comes down to yourself, and it comes down to the time that you're spending with yourself, and the time that you're spending with others, and what actually makes sense for you.
Yeah, and this is very opposite of Libra energy, where it's like, you want to make a change, go make it, and go that extra mile instead of like waiting on the other person to, like put more effort in, like to do what you like, get what you want. Like Mars in Capricorn is like exalted, and in the 6th house, it's precise. It's got to do something about it. Just can't just kind of sit around and wait. And that's why the Emperor reverse showed up as the first card. I mean, or you're putting your energy into somebody who's like acting like they got power and they got zero. Well, how funny. Aries.
I had 2 hamsters growing up. Their names were Nick and Noel. They had babies.
Little babies?
Little baby hamsters. And then I remember.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought that maybe they had a Sasquatch, but.
No, I met a Sasquatch, though, yesterday in Newport Beach. Yeah.
I don't want to know.
At the Fun Zone, there's a Sasquatch. There's a really cool sock store there. And they have it, like outside, there's a full 6-foot Sasquatch. And they had a bunch of Sasquatch socks, so I got my sister a pair. Which, hopefully she's not watching.
Big dong.
Ding dong? Ding dong!
Tim Conway Jr., ding dong!
Ding dong to you!
Aries, your first card is 3 of Wands upright. Your challenge card is the 9 of Swords reversed. Your overall is the 6 of Swords in reverse. And the way you get through this challenge, King of Wands. So I think that you're very optimistic and hopeful, but boom, it goes right into this 9 of Swords reversed, where it's like, you're not paying attention to some writings on the wall here, okay? Like, if you're going into something new, if you're in a relationship, you see opportunities, but maybe you're afraid to, kind of deal with what you're feeling anxious about or you're not seeing truthfully about. Because this 6 of Swords reversed, the overall is like, 1, are you sure you're ready to go jump onto that other side? It doesn't look like you are. Maybe something's going to come up that's going to trigger you, the writing on the wall or some sort of situation here that's going to show you like, maybe you shouldn't try and move this forward. Maybe it's over optimistic. We're going to find out more deeper, but this King of Wands is the only thing to get through that 9 of Swords. Like, yeah, run into the passion and fire. But I think a lot of this is like, is your partner really the King of Wands of love? Or are they, like the challenge might be that the partner or the person that you're interested in or that you're working with is not that passionate, and that they're actually like pretty timid and scared, and it's like you need that like surety, and you have that opportunity that you're seeking. And the overall here is it's almost like, you know, if this is something new or trying to move to something new, it's not going where you want it to go. Or maybe your partners are really afraid. They said they were going to do something. Like it's almost like there was something, somebody promised something and then they're not delivering. And it's like, remember to people that deliver, you already have questioned the delivery, and that's what the issue is. You should be with somebody who you stop questioning the delivery, or you purposely question the delivery because you're the one who's questioning yourself and then you're projecting it onto other people. Yeah, you got the King of Swords. Look at this. It's like you need to do it some deep facts and be very clear about, you know, instead of just being so like, well, what's like, oh, I'm so hopeful. It's like, no, don't be hopeful. Be clear. Like be clear on what things are and look at the clear facts about things. Because I think that when you get the King of Wands and the King of Swords, it's like very clear. And then there's this kind of like, well, who knows? And I'm unsure, or I'm not paying attention to fucking the writing on the wall, or I'm not paying attention to the anxieties. I'm just avoiding them. Why'd you get the Six of Wands reversed? Or sorry, Six of Swords reversed. Eight of Swords reversed. Oh gosh. Well, maybe it's not, things are not going, especially I think I'm speaking to more non-relationed, like, or new relationed Aries. You're saving yourself from hell. If you're in a relationship, I would say that this is just like needing to be clear on where you and your partner are sitting. Where's the passion? Where's the clarity? And like making sure that you guys don't get stuck in feeling like things aren't going anywhere. But I feel that all Aries are realizing that there's kind of this like, you know, things aren't going to go anywhere if you're not going to be honest with yourself about, then you're going to deny the signs. To me, the Nine of Swords reversed is denying the signs, denying the anxieties, denying the insecurities, trying to make something out of nothing. That's actually freaky.
Super freak.
You pulled the Earth. You need to find stability. I got a feeling that that's what you're yearning for. You're yearning, all Aries right now are yearning for stability. But I think that question of stability comes from, it's pretty clear on what the stability is. It's not some thing that I'm hoping for stability. It's like, no, it's either stable or it's not stable. And I think that that's something that you're going to have some issues with this week about figuring out like, it wasn't stable and I was trying to find stability in the middle of the earthquake, like, or, you know, like shadow. Yeah, I got a feeling like, you got that with the Nine of Swords reversed. I would say that, you know, this is like your shadow coming out, or the person that you're dealing with, the shadow of them is coming out to reveal they're not that strong. They're not that passionate. They're actually pretty scared and timid little boys or girls. And that's not, you know, I think that you kind of feel like you're the hero, but is that really good? Look at the sacrifice. Are you ready to sacrifice yourself? Or are you going to sacrifice this to move into what's true? You know, these are some pretty gnarly scenarios here. Like, this is where, you know, you can end up kind of lost, confused, in a way wrong place with this kind of false hope over weak people who fucking can trap you and make you feel like, you know, you're going to need a rescue boat, and there is no rescue boat because the rescue boat is you seeing the writing on the wall and all the fucking shadow shit now and sacrificing, you know, that instead of like, I'm going to sacrifice my life for you, because that's what I feel like some Aries are doing. Like, you're willing to sacrifice your life for somebody else. And that's, I don't think is going down too well right now. And I don't think it will go down well because that's not stable. You're giving rid of your stability for that. You got 6th house, Aries, Jupiter. You know, I think that it's time to open up to way more possibilities, especially understanding the kind of reality that you want. And you need to have a wider view about the life that you want. I think that maybe you're too narrow right now about how, oh yeah, like this is how this is going to go. It's like you just cornered yourself. You just blocked yourself from all the other things that you really want in your life. Like you're choosing like a very small thing and making it everything. And instead of looking at the great things that you could have.
Well, sometimes we end up a little too close, and we can't actually see situations or see ourselves for what it is, and we kind of take these missed moments, and these missed like little victories or these little bits of happiness that you can. Like my father, who's an Aries, my stepmom was out of town this past weekend, so my sister told me that when she talked to him, said, "What did you do?" And he said that he went and got a pot pie on Friday, and he got some wings and a margarita on Saturday, and he got a pizza on Sunday. So it's those little happinesses that maybe you kind of forgot about them, but it's taking the time for yourself and bring yourself back into those moments so you are able to recognize all the happiness that surrounds you. Like that cookie right there, right? Huh? No? Mouthful? Double stuff. Double stuff. But I got socks for myself too, but I'm not actually wearing them. They're like a nightlife scene with a couple of jazz cats standing out there on the street with brass in their hands. Far out, baby, far out.
I was about to say Aquarius. I was going to go. Horrible. If I was an Aquarius, I would be like, I got fucked with that song. Thank God there's no Leo song.
Leo.
Age of Leo. Like I would be like, if they were being like Age of Leo, and I'd just be like, fucking delete that shit. I would fucking call the fucking. I would buy, if I had all the money in the world, I would buy the rights to that song and I would have it deleted and burned. And I would let it be for public resource from public archives. So I wouldn't be like Hitlerish and burn the books, but I would no more streaming. But if you want to see the history of this, idea of how Aquarius is just a joke. It's a joke. It was the biggest joke of all time. It was pre-programmed, actually. If you actually look at it and you see what we're seeing in today's society, that shit was all pre-programmed to be like when the Age of Aquarius shows up. I actually was thinking about this. Who? Okay, I want to know. I want to know. You give me a little fucking cookie and I start going off. Fucking, who threw water for the last 4 years all the time? They said that the water bearer would show up, and I'm like, okay, who's going to be fucking showing up with water and throwing water?
The water boys.
It's always a public figure in the main thing. That's not on some fucking bullshit underground fucking telegram or something like that. Who threw water all the time? In the air. Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Aquarius. Let's see. Sun conjunct Uranus too.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. That person has Sun conjunct Uranus. Let's see what Aquarius have. Happy birthday to the Aquarians right there at the end. Well, you got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Is your overall card, or your first card. Your challenge card here is the King of Swords. And your overall is the Three of Swords. Howie mama. The way you get through this is the Hangman? Holy shit. Well, Aquarius, definitely feels like fortune's not really turning your direction. At least you feel that way. It also feels like maybe you want somebody to come circle back into your life and they're not. I think that the issue is the communication thing. I think that there's integrity here issues, maybe from yourself of just be real, communicate more of what you feel. Maybe you have a partner or somebody that you're dealing with that you want them to speak up more and they're not. They and you don't feel them coming around, and you're wanting that, and that feels like some sort of challenge because there's some sort of heartbreak here. It almost feels like you're yearning for something, or you're dealing with a situation that you don't want to be in, and you feel like it's bad fortune, and you're too afraid to like be honest about it. And the way you get through that is like realize that you're stuck, so you can get out of being stuck by understanding the information and saying something about it. Like maybe somebody's not coming around because they don't know to come around, or maybe why would you hold on to a heartbreaking situation and not do anything about it? Oh, I just got bad luck, I'm gonna just deal with the shit. No, like, are you really that person? I don't think you are. Why'd you get this Wheel of Fortune reversed? You got the Two of Cups reversed. I mean, this feels like a bad luck situation about, this feels like in order to move forward, I would feel like there's a soulmate situation here that just feels like it's missing. So it could be like you're in a soulmate situation. It's like your great lover that you're with, and it's like this thing has turned to really weird waters and really bad waters, and very like you have no idea what to fucking do. This heartbreak card showing up, Knight of Wands. Well, at least I think like you got to be willing to leap for love. I think the true love, and not be leaping into heartbreak constantly, whether you're alone sitting at home. There's a lot here. Whenever we get a bad card, I always like to pull an extra card. So Nine of Pentacles reversed. So I would say that, gosh, it's like, remember the greatness of who you are and that you attract what you want in your life. But when you don't show up into the world and you don't show up to attract what you want, and especially with Knight of Wands there, like, be like kind of eager to get love. It's like, well, guess what? You're just going to be left with fucking a bunch of coal. And this Two of Cups situation is pretty serious with the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see what the overall of the oracles say. It's the Sun card. I think that, it's like there's something deep with somebody, but it's like, is this really of the truth? Or the understanding of like bringing the spirit to this is so important. Like, are you doing that? Are you, it feels like somebody's not coming around that you want to come around for some people. And then it feels like you want somebody to get the fuck out of your life too, if you're in something with somebody. So I think it kind of flipped. But honestly, it's with somebody who, you feel a very, soulful, powerful energy with. And then I think for those that feel like they're over somebody, it's like you feel like you need to be independent on your own because you don't feel the sun with them. You don't feel the soul with them. You don't feel like they're bringing any light. You feel like they're just like totally out of this world, literally. Like it's not fortunate at all. And they bring you back. And then you look at this, you got the karmic path. Like this is definitely needing to communicate and deal with the karma of some really weird situations that feel stuck that you need clarity on. You need clarity on a situation this week, Aquarius, and you need to initiate it. And the shadow that you got here, well, the child I was meant to be, it almost feels like maybe detach from how you think it should be or how it should look. And I think that maybe that's the heartbreak attached. It's like, you expect it to be a certain way, but it's not going that way. I think it's just like learning to be open for how to jump into love, but there's some insecurities, or you're not stepping into the power of attracting exactly the way you want. And maybe maybe at one point you did, and then you forgot like how to attract what you want to come towards you because you expected it to be your own way. And maybe that wasn't the way that was originally put out there, or maybe, like there's something about like there's been some changes here within yourself, and also there's been changes on the other person or your partnership, and either A, the changes that you want them around more, or B, you are so over it. You're so not happy. You need to have this karmic fucking shit finally happen and clear it out and clear it, or clear something with somebody that you feel a lot of things for, but you don't see them showing up. You got Neptune in the second house and you got it in Aquarius. So, you see the future of what you want to create, but you're almost like, am I delusional? Am I delusional to think that this is not worthy? Or am I delusional to think that this is worthy? You need to get to the bottom of that. And the only way to do that is to get rid of the sensitivities, to get rid of the constantly being in your imagination about it, and actually be reality.
You got to get back within inside yourself. Got to get back within inside yourself. Detach from the detachment.
Detach from
Detach from the detachment. You know, you have to get back within inside those daily tasks, those daily routines, the day-to-day notion of who you actually are and where it is that you're going. Now, that one foot in front of the other that's actually going to take you somewhere, and not up into space, but actually to your next destination. So I think that's what it is, finding it and finding that path so you can really get back on it, so you can put that focus forward and not necessarily look into the past and dwell there and spend all the time with inside moments that don't actually matter to you.
Yeah, there's no point in that shit.
No.
But you could also, I think, miss out on life from so many aspects. It's like, one, sitting in something that you hate and you just keep holding on, or missing out on something that, you know, you want to circle back towards you. I'm going to just keep saying circle back.
You're about that circle back life.
You know why? Because it's just like helping people see how fucking stupid it is. It's a whole other story. But
whole nother story.
Exactly. You know what circle back is? Let me come back and fucking make up a story for you. Because I don't have the fact, and I'm going to go and make up the facts for you.
And it's being ill-prepared for life.
That is true.
Are you showing up, or are you just fucking there?
Yep.
Can I get one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That was COVID friendly.
Well, that's what we do here.
All right. You won't believe that what just popped up. It's fucking Scorpio.
Ding dong.
Ding dong.
Ding dong to you. Ding dong to you, Scorpio.
Ding dong. Tim Conway Jr. here.
Because we're about to get weird. Just like my jacket. Ain't no fur for real. Scorpio party, baby. Ding dong to you.
Oh, you gonna be pressing ding dong, putting ding dong buttons on every part? You gonna be
Scorpio party, baby.
There's
ding dong to you.
There's lots of buttons to push ding dong on.
Yeah, we gonna push
every ding dong at once. Little ding dong ditch
buttons.
party. Ding dong ditch. Woo!
Yep. Ding da dong.
Don't ding dong ditch a Scorpio, but Scorpio has no problem ding dong ditching somebody else.
The first time that I ever like stayed home by myself, really, and my sister's friends came in, nickel tapped my window, and I was fucking terrified. You know, you put the nickel, it's loud as shit, and on a big glass window, and you can't see anything where it comes because the nickels, it's so small. And then if it's, you know, you're looking out the window and the reflection's there, you can't see it because it's bright inside, it's dark outside, and you're just walking around the house, and you're saying, what the is going on? But I survived and I thrived. And I lived to tell the story and to fight another day.
Yeah, I did a lot of ding dong ditching.
Ding dong to you.
Well, you know, it was always funny to do it to your friends, parents, or whatever. But the best was when you would go through the community and you just knew that one. You don't even know the family, but you just know they're the weird family, or they're just weird, and you just do it to the random house all the time. That was my favorite. That was my favorite. You know, the Mrs. Kravitz on the street or whatever. You know, ding dong.
I really enjoyed TPing houses.
TPing houses was the bomb, and you had to go get the biggest packs and the thickest shit, and it was all about how well especially if they had like a eucalyptus tree where it would be like so you know, and then the best was to go over the house and start doing it to where it would land on the roof, and then like just do the whole house and the trees, and like it would just be you know, libs today would fucking have a fucking seizure if people were fucking one ding dong ditching, and two if there was fucking toilet paper fucking toilet paper eating houses. They'd be like, like more soy hormone shit.
Juliet says she's an egg thrower. That's a little.
Hey, I got in trouble for throwing eggs the one time in my life, and I fucking got in a shit ton of shit when I was young, and I threw eggs at a car, and fucking that did not go down well for me. So I do not
Juliet.
endorse throwing eggs at fucking anything.
Tisk.
Got a lot of shit, and I did it for my buddy because he broke up with his girlfriend, and he was the one who wanted to throw eggs, and he was too much of a pussy to fucking do it himself. And I fucking felt stupid, and I grabbed an egg out of the cart and I threw it at the car in a parking lot. And this is right when cameras, like the very first, we didn't know there were cameras, put it that way. It was like 2000. And I'm like, what the fuck? You actually know this guy. He's the brother of a guy you know very well, a soccer player. Yep. Big regret in my life. Actually, my brother did it too. My brother and I got fucked.
Oh, lowly Lyle.
Yeah, especially because it was like, man, the only time throwing eggs, thank God I got caught, to fucking get in trouble. I had to do 20 hours of community service for that shit.
Omelette with bacon and avocado.
Scorpios?
Yeah, let's get the party
Oh
started.
yeah, let's get the zombie cards out for them.
Oh, zombies.
Yeah, I have to shuffle this deck, but yeah. Yeah, eggs, no. Toilet paper, yes. Bags of dog shit, that was fun.
No, I never did that.
No, you just ding dong ditch. You light a paper bag on fire with fucking dog shit in it.
I know. I just never did it.
Oh, I did it. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty easy. I'm not going to give names, but the friend I was best friends with, and he had 2 big dogs, so it'd just be like, all right, let's get those freshies out right now. Fucking get the fucking shovel. Fucking get the bag out.
Eat each other's dog shit. It's disgusting.
Or there was one time we did it with a pig heart, or it was like some heart of some animal at the Asian market, Ranch 99, and lit that on fire. And thought that was kind of funny.
It's a delicacy.
Yeah, we cooked it for him.
We could throw it in the smoker.
At sushi restaurants, right? It's like blackened salmon or blackened this. It was like, yeah, how about blackened fucking pig heart fucking in your fucking, they probably, back then there was no DoorDash. The only person that rang the door was fucking the postman or like Pizza Hut, lamppost, or
Jehovah's Witnesses.
like Domino's was like not really a thing. It was either like Lamb or Irvine Pizza, or Irvine Pizza was really fucking good.
Northwood Pizza.
Northwood Pizza was aight.
That's the bomb.
Yeah, I would rather have Lamppost, or I'd rather have Irvine Pizza. The Irvine Pizza that was across the street. The Irvine Pizza that was across the street from fucking El Conejo.
Yeah, that was good.
They used to serve Brujas fucking. Well, so did El Conejo.
Yeah, El Conejo.
Anyway, that's another story. Scorpio, your first card is the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. Your challenge here is the 2 of Swords reversed. And the overall there is the 7 of Swords. And the way that you get through this, Knight of Pentacles, upright. So I think that you're done juggling with a lot of things. Maybe you've been in a juggling fest, or maybe you're dealing with a partner who's been juggling all over the place and you don't know how to deal with it. Like you're like, I'm not really wanting to juggle a lot. And maybe they're juggling a lot, and maybe it was flipped. Maybe you were juggling and they weren't juggling, and now they're juggling and you're juggling. Like that's how juggling works. And I think that part of that issue is like, the challenge is like, well, I'm pretty clear. I don't want to like, and 2 of Swords definitely is always a choice of 2 different roads here. But I feel like, the challenge is like, you think that you're clear, but I don't think that you are. You're kind of like stuck, Scorpio. It's like, I don't know where to go. Like there's a lot of this person juggling and I'm not juggling, or maybe you feel like you need to go juggle again, and that's a road, or do I just not juggle and go off on this road? And 7 of Swords pops up here, where it's like, what is, I mean, I hate to say it, this is a lie, deceiving, kind of, like, we're gonna have to get more clarity on whatever this deceit thing is.
That clarity.
We'll get back to that. But there's
come
deceit
on
involved in
down.
this whole juggling. We got the Knight of Pentacles to get through it. It's like, move forward in life. Maybe stop focusing so much maybe on the juggling. Like if you're not going to be juggling anymore about life or situation, just keep moving forward and just see how things go. Maybe it's like overemphasis on like too much of a situation. People juggle things all the time. You included a lot over the last 3 years. So, but we are going to find out what is going on with this juggling. The Knight of Pentacles reversed. So I think that's the issue. It's like, you're not going to move anywhere if you're going to go back into juggling, and maybe your partner wants to move somewhere, but they can't move somewhere. And if they're like switching up, their values, right? Like, and so they're kind of stuck determining their value and where they sit with something. Or maybe you're at a position where you're like, I don't want to be dealing with somebody stuck. I don't want to be dealing with somebody who's changing things a lot. Because that's like, moving from one area of life to another and then being stuck in there. And that's like not what you're wanting to connect with. But if you're in that space, that's why nothing's going anywhere. Now, the deceit, the great deceit that is going on, Page of Cups. I think all this is saying is that the lighter combos and stuff are good, but it's covering up the deeper things that need to be talked about. That it's almost like this is where it's typical. There's an elephant in the room that needs to be addressed, because you can't go on without the elephant in the room being addressed. That's what I'm seeing. It's like, it's great to have the fun and simple stuff and easy stuff, but this is like needing to get down to the core of like, is this thing moving forward? That's the way you get through this challenge this week of the decision making and what's being juggled still on both halves or within yourself or from a partner. The overall card that you got here is the North Node. So it's time to, I would say definitely going more into the deeper truth of like, where's this purpose? What's the purpose of this? Where's this going? And also no juggling. Let's go here. Can we work on this together, or are we just going to keep juggling this situation? Or are you on your life purpose, or is it taking you away from your life purpose because you're juggling something that's not going anywhere? That's a good way to look at it too. The Healer has come up. I would say that the elephant in the room is something that could be healed. I just think it's just like pinpointing it and getting deep into those combos instead of like trying to just like have airy-fairy like basic combo and fun shit. Like this is like just deal with it. Like, because then you're just lying to each other, knowing that there's more and not understanding why anything's not going anywhere or changing, when it's like, just fucking get to it and be honest, and don't lie through, like kind of like try to laugh it off or not take it serious, because Page of Cups is very light-hearted offering or talks, and get to the truth. Like, what's the fucking deal? And the shadow that's popping up through this whole situation is calling the storm. So that's what's coming up. If you're going to keep it light and fluffy and not deal with like the heaviness of the truth here, is you're calling a storm in. And I think this is not just an elephant in a room. It's an elephant in a room that's ready to fucking jump all the way around. And it's almost like, no, it's fine. The elephant's chill. No, it's not chill. It's going to fucking trample the whole room out. So, but this is about trying to get to life purpose. And there's a very major healing. Maybe it'll bring you and another person together in such a beautiful way. Or it'll bring you and a person together to heal and move on to go where you need to go. Instead of keeping things in stagnation or weird juggling and kind of in this false lie that this is fun, but you both want more. The moon in the 10th in Gemini. So yeah, I mean, decisions are only going to be made emotionally and finding out where the path is by communicating. And so the communication of integrity and being adults, adult conversations. And I think that Scorpio, you yearn for those kind of things, but sometimes at the same time, maybe not. Maybe it's almost like, oh no. But this is what brings you depth anyway, is growing up and having these big combos and having those combos of like, am I willing to take the risk or not? But not juggling it, like getting to the point. And this is about getting to the point. What's the point of this? What's the point of this? That's what's going to heal things. Instead of calling a fucking major storm. Because I think the shadow is there's a storm underneath and, you know, it'll go really bad if you don't deal with it. Figure it out.
Real bad.
It'll go real bad. I mean, like, think about it. If you see, if a fucking elephant walked in here, I'd be like, you know what, it's chill. Or like, you know, I was talking about the homeless. What are the homeless? You know, they sometimes look, and I always wonder, like, as I'm closing the door, are they like gonna try and run in here and fucking be like, bah! Like do something crazy? Like, am I just gonna be like, oh yeah, it's chill, dude. Like, fucking just walk through here and fucking, you know, do whatever the fuck you want. Like, as you're stealing fucking shit for heroin. Fuck no.
There was a zombie walking down the train track when I walked out there.
I bet you there was.
There was a zombie apocalypse. But for Scorpios, I think it needs to be a focused attack, so to speak. You know, and not allowing ourselves to get caught up in all the distractions, you know, and all the juggling, you know, and trying to focus our energy into certain aspects of our life, but not really fully into one true endeavor or true individual. And that could be ourselves too, and getting lost within ourselves and what it is that we want, and not being able to fully focus, and not just saying, okay, this is what I'm going to put my energy for, this is what I'm going to go after, and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make it happen with all the life force behind it. But it's actually being able to focus and being able to choose what it is that we want to go and achieve.
I like that point.
Achieve. A cheese sandwich.
Cappies, Capricorns. All right, we're gonna speed this up here.
Halfway through.
First card you got is the Ace of Pentacles in reversed. Second card that you got here for challenge is the Emperor upright. You get the Five of Swords reversed as the overall. Way you get through this with the Emperor is the Judgment reversed. Ooh, wow, this is going to be a little bit weird. So, Ace of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, the substance and trying to get to a new space. It's almost like when you buy a new house or you buy a new car or you do something and you think it's going to refresh your relationship. That's not working. Okay, like, okay, I'm going to go do something nice. That'll fix things. No, it's deeper than that. There's something off here. Or if you're single, I mean, it's like you're not willing to fucking still enter into the game. You suck at the game. You don't want to go into the game. You're too afraid to go into this new world with the love game. You got the Emperor, and you got it as your challenge. I think that that maybe you're questioning if somebody's really all the way into you. You're questioning your own ability of what you really want in your life. There's definitely a duality to that. I would say that, you know, a lot of it, the challenge is like you don't know what action to take, and maybe that's the issue, is you're waiting on too much. Like, and maybe a lot of it has to do with, you know, are you really ready to make the big move in your life? Like, you know, like that must be shown, right? Like, I like this card because it's like the zombie is showing like, I am ready to wake up and be a zombie, right? It's like, this is reverse. So no, you're not. The jewels don't mean shit. They didn't do anything. And I'm going to be honest, your overall is Five of Swords reversed. This is like not trying hard enough. Like, either somebody's not trying hard enough, and that also will include you. It's a reflection always. And also it means that not maybe trying hard enough to get what you really want. And having the Judgment reversed is like, stop doing judgment on somebody else, or stop doing judgment on somebody not being strong enough or something like that. Like, you're the one that needs to start owning the judgment that you're not showing up for yourself the way that you want to. And maybe you're not showing up to the partnership or the interest or your relationship because you're, you know, in a position where, you know, you're not putting a higher calling to it. You know, it's like, you know, it's kind of just like, it's there and you don't know what to do. They sit next to you and you don't know what to do. Like, I think that you're going to have to take a lot more power in this to understand things. I think that you're expecting that to just come to you. And this is definitely showing with a Five of Swords reversed and an Ace of Pentacles reversed. No way. Knight of Wands reversed. Yeah, I would say that that's the issue. You're not leaping towards anything. And I think that you're expecting something to leap towards you. I think that, that's part of the issue. It's like, are you even really ready for that leap? Maybe that's why that energy doesn't come towards you. Or maybe you're too afraid to make the leap that you really want in your life out, like of something. And you're terrified of that, because it's going to be something so new. Newness is terrifying to you right now. And that's what I'm saying. Like, don't throw your judgment. Judgment reversed is always like you throwing judgment on somebody else. Don't throw judgment on somebody else. Look at yourself first. You pulled the challenge as the emperor, which is you in many ways. I mean, it could be your partner. It could be the person you're interested in. They're a powerful person, but the challenge is like you don't understand where they judge you. But that also means like where you judge them or where you're judging where to go. Six of Swords. So in order for this thing to move into the direction that's going to be understood, you got to try harder. And part of that, is like, there's the simple things in life like Capricorn, like, okay, like I sent a text or I made a call or we had a talk. It's like, you gotta like, if a nuclear bomb was going off, it'd be like, there's going to be, there's going to be alarms going off to get you to get in the car, let's go. But with a Five of Swords, it's very weak energy. It's like, I don't want to, and that's part of the issue is I think that you don't want to disturb people or have them walk away. Like, am I going to come across too intense or and single ones that are not dating anybody? It's like, that's part of your issue too. You're not trying hard enough. You're like, I don't want to like intrude on anybody's space or anything like that. Like, come on, you're missing out on quite a lot here by just kind of being in the background. Look at this. You pulled the fifth house of creativity, love. This is the love house. This is definitely, it can be drama, especially we got the drama. We got the drama masks on.
Save the drama for your mama.
So love is dramatic, and it should be dramatic or it would be boring and it wouldn't be love. Buddy love. What'd you get here with that? Power. Look at that. You want powerful love. Well, it's not going to happen if you're not willing to show up with it. Stop putting the blame on the other person. I feel like it's like you're the one who's got to, if you're not into it, you're not into it. You're not going to be putting power into it. If you're into it, you'll be putting all your power into it. That's going to be pretty clear. Very clear. And it's probably clear to your partner or the other person. And naked before the stars. I think that that's the issue. I think that there's a part of you that's just like kind of liking your alone time, kind of wanting not to intrude, but wanting things to go anywhere. How's that going to happen? Like, you're not, it's like me, like I'm going on a trip next weekend in my RV. Like, they'd be like, not hooking up the truck, me not fucking hooking up the RV, me not making sure there's water in it, me making sure there's not blue shit in the toilets. Like, you got to do the work. You got to get ready to go where you got to go. But it's like, you're not doing that. It's like, you really wanted to go somewhere, or you want it to end, or you wanted to move to the new place, or you want it to begin and go to the place that you want to go. But you're not doing any of the stuff. Like, you just think it's like, oh, I just got to just throw a text out. Or I got to just throw this out. Or I just had to have a little quick thing. No, it's a lot more, and it's got to be more dramatic, and where your power is of it is going to be what is there. But with that naked, that's the shadow. It's like, I'm doing my spiritual work, like I'm kind of in my own little space, but yet you want it to go to some big place. You're not available to come into the reality. You're like in the stars. You're out there and fucking by yourself. Like, okay. May come across distant too right now, and that's not going to help you. But that means you're not into it. Leo, 6th house, Neptune. Yeah, I think that for you, you're too specific on what love should look like, and that's the delusion. You need to let go of the exactness of how love should look and go with the love that you really want to have in your life and make that the dream and make that the possibility, and actually, let go of the rules, or maybe the schedules are off, or maybe there's been a lot of this 6th house stuff coming up and a lot of the dice, but in Neptune as well. So I would say that like the dream of love, you're trying to make reality. And I think that you need to be in the more dreamy state instead of like looking at the reality state too much.
You got to take that power back, take that power back, take that sex appeal back, take that desire back, that desire to be touched and that desire to touch also. That give and take when it comes to that. And maybe it is time we drop a little love bomb. It's been a while since we've done a little love bomb or any of that fun stuff, but I think it's maybe a time that you tap back into that force and actually let it go. Boom.
Just
boom. And just let it boom. And see what love conquers when it comes down to the end of the day.
See what love conquers. You never know. Or just sit there in the same story. Taurus. All right, Taurus, your first card is 3 Pentacles upright as your first card. Your challenge, King of Cups reversed. Knight of Pentacles is your overall, and the way that we get through this King of Cups reversed is you got the Ace of Swords upright. So 3 Pentacles, you want to go build something, but you know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Taurus. You're thinking about somebody else, or you think that somebody else is thinking about somebody else. There's definitely, 3 Pentacles, definitely a third party here. You're debating on a couple people. Let's be real, Taurus. Even if you're in a relationship, you're thinking about somebody else, you're talking to somebody else, something like that is going on. I think that you're projecting that you think somebody else is. Like your partner or the person you're interested in or something like that. But the truth is like, also, maybe you're not showing up to build something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe this whole team effort that you're wanting to have, or maybe you're just still kind of diversifying your energy of what to go build with and who's the best builder to go build love with and so forth, is causing this issue of you not feeling that you're getting the emotions that you want. Well, you're not stepping into the emotions that you want. You are not. King of Cups reversed. That's your issue. You're not the one stepping up forward. I know that a lot of these tarot readers out there just try and do what's coming at you and what this person's doing and all that. I'm the one who calls you out. And I throw a little bit of somebody else. But this show is all about calling you out.
I'm talking to you.
That's deep. Like,
pay attention.
It's about your shit.
I'm talking to you. Listen up.
I know that everybody gets all excited to hear about, oh, yeah, they're doing this. And that's exactly what I'm saying is the problem. Knight of Pentacles, I mean, overall, it's like, it's time to move on with the journey. You can't do that when you're, if you're talking or you're debating a couple people and you're not in your emotions that you want. The way that you get through that, you need to pierce through and get to the higher, more. This is a beautiful card. I love the Ace of Swords. It's like the window's open, it's fresh air, but that only means when you embody the emotions fully that you want. You can't be insecure based off what other people are doing. You have to be secure within yourself first, emotionally. And that's your issue, is you're insecure emotionally right now. You're not, you feel stupid. Am I stupid that I've been doing this emotionally? Well, what's the truth? I got a feeling we're going to get some sort of truth card with, like, maybe you haven't been revealing the truth there, Taurus. Game over. 5 of Swords reversed. You're not trying hard enough because you are uncertain what you want to put all your energy into. That's it. That's the truth. Wow, look at that. Although it's not game over, but it's like it's game over all the time though, because it's not going exactly where you want to go. Like, it's not even a game that's started yet. That's a better way to look at it. It's not game over. The game has not started. Or you're in a relationship where the game never started and you're like, how the fuck did I end up in this thing? Or you keep circling back to some ex that it's always been game over with. Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands reversed. I got a feeling it's like you got to move on the journey, but you're not ready to move into the full love. Like, and I think that you need, Knight of Wands is all about love. I think I love you. Who the fuck are you? That's the one night stand energy. It's like, love is like something that's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, let's find and see if we got love and passion. You got it reversed. And you got to move on in this journey, but you're not willing to do that. You're like trying to protect so much that you're not even making anything anymore. And it's because you're too worried about fucking up another situation. Just calling it out. Just calling it out. You got the moon card with it. That's secrets. That's emotion. That's weird shit. That's some toxic shit too, Taurus. Like, what are you doing? You're doing some weird emotional shit here with multiple parties. Calling you out. Even if it's just in your head. Don't project that on somebody else. You're going to be lucky when you embody the emotions that you want, and will open the doorway and open all the windows and will open the air and it will get the clarity that you want. The only luck that you have is getting clarity by you stepping into the emotions that you want fully instead of half-assing it. Half-assing it. Your shadow, the card that you got is today is tomorrow. For tomorrow. That's it. Look at that. So you want exciting love and you want the journey to move forward. But if you're not doing that today, it's not going to happen tomorrow. Because what you're doing today and nothing happened and nothing changed will be exactly what tomorrow is until you fucking start making the change now, embodying the new emotions and being willing to fucking throw the flare of love up in the air. Like, woo! Instead of like fucking keeping it like it's like fucking like keeping your grandma diaper on. You know what I mean? Like fucking go keep your Depends on because that's going real well, Taurus. Keep the Depends on. You're depending on not wanting to move a story forward without embodying the emotions and the love and the exciting and some really weird subconscious hidden not wanting to really get deep involved with that you're, you know, kind of playing around with these ideas in your head of all these other situations. So you're scattered. You got fifth house, Capricorn, North Node. Yeah, it's time for you to take embodiment and see whether you have to focus on the decision of what makes you happy, and you have to focus on being an adult to get the love that you want. And I got a feeling that there's a lot of childish shit going on here, and that you need to grow up and step into that to your grown-up energy. Maybe you don't have your shit together, right? Because South Node would be in Cancer. Maybe you're playing it too safe. Maybe you're playing it too much about other people and worrying about your friends and worrying about what other people think and worrying about taking care of people instead of fucking getting what you want. That's your issue. You don't know how to get what you want. So of course nothing's showing up the way that you want to.
Oh, make that own luck.
Yeah,
Make your own luck. Don't wait. Don't just hope and dream. We talk about it a lot, actually putting that energetic force behind a thought process or behind a desire, an emotional feeling that we feel deep down inside ourselves. Whatever that is, put your life force behind it, put that essence behind it, and you will will yourself to change it. You will will yourself into a better aspect, a better place within inside your life, so you'll be able to receive, so you'll be able to notice changes, so that you'll be able to pivot and adapt and do what you need to do to make this life the greatest life that you can possibly be aware of in this exact moment. Until then you pass away and then you come back and do it all over again. Then maybe it won't be as great, maybe it will be greater, but at the end of the day, it's going to be that life force once again that you put behind it.
It's always about that life force.
That life force. Yeah, breathing up through your body.
The life force that has come through the high vibe chalice gold cup is the Pisces.
Ding dong to you, Pisces.
Ding dong.
Ding dong.
The fishes.
Ding dong.
Do I smell fish? Do I smell fish food? Flaky fish food?
I almost made a tuna melt today, actually.
No, I'm talking about goldfish flaky food.
I could go for some goldfish right now.
Would you, for $100, eat a bottle, like the little like bottle of the flaky goldfish, like little flake food? It's like corn. Just think of it as like, you know, like what was that called? Cornflakes?
Yes.
Like it's like colored cornflakes.
Corn?
You never fed fish with like those cornflakes before? Like
Yeah, I had
food?
fish. Yeah,
Have you ever thought how funny it's called fish
fish
flake? Because fishes flake out and Pisces flake out.
Whoa. Whoa, bruh.
Fish flake? Why do you think they call it fish flake?
Is that better?
Pisces flake out.
I've got some sea salt chocolate over here.
You didn't answer the question. Would you eat it for $100?
What? Some fish food?
Fish food. The whole bottle, like just in one, just.
Oh, no.
All right.
No.
All right. Let's see what's going on with Pisces. They pulled the Vampires deck. 5 of Pentacles reversed. That's the victim card reversed. Queen of Wands upright as your challenge. The Wheel of Fortune reversed as your overall. The way you get through it is the 3 of Pentacles reversed. Well, I think that you're right now in a place where you're just done feeling like things aren't going the way that you want to. I mean, you know, the Five of Pentacles is not a fun card. It's a poverty card. It's feeling also like you might be with somebody who's kind of got some really deep victimization issues. And I think that, you know, you're at least getting out of that energy in yourself or out of a partner or whatever. But I think the problem here is I think the challenge is like you want true love, but you don't see it anywhere, or you're with a victim and you need to realize that they don't even know how to hold love. You know, they've been too brutally hurting themselves, and or it's like you don't know how to do the love because you're being victimized because you keep going in stupid fucking situations that put you in that place. I think there's an overall feeling like that you have control when you don't, that fortune only comes to those that allow the wheel to turn. And I think that you might want something to circle back the way that you want to, but it's not going to, because I think that it might be not good for you. Three of Pentacles reversed is a way through this. Stop building on something that's not building the ultimate love of your life. It's like continuing to paint the roses red when they're white. Stop buying white roses, buy red ones. Like, stop putting all this energy into people or the relationship that's not turning to the ultimate beautiful feminine love story that you want, the romantic story. It's like stop putting all this excitement on something that's really not it. I know that can be hard, but you pulled the Judgment card here. You need to make a judgment call that's actually about raising higher in your vibes instead of being with somebody who, honestly, I got a feeling is not close to even understanding that same calling. I think that you're looking for the person that's in the same calling as you, and that might be a challenge right now, because like I think that you're giving away what you could be doing for a higher calling in life and giving it away to somebody who's a taker or that couldn't even understand the same mission. The relationship needs a mission, and the mission might not be coming from the best place. It might be fucking you both up. You pulled the Wheel of Fortune again, and you got it with the Wheel of Fortune reversed. I would say that, you know what? Your fortune is to stop putting fortune into something that's not fortune. The real fortune is something that you're not trying to control, that you're not trying to keep, you're not trying to paint the roses red. You're not trying to fucking keep putting that energy in a building. And you know what? Part of this is letting go of this whole thing that this person's going to save you because they have the ability and the talent and the skill to build something with you. They don't. Like, it's like the whole, we're going to build a business together, or we're going to do this together. We're going to, we can do anything together. We can build this. It's like, no, you guys can't. The mission's not on target. The fucking, the fortune's trying to save you from fucking going into bad fortune. You have good fortune when you let the control off of doing that.
You don't want an Ursula Little Mermaid situation.
Fuck no. You pulled the Capricorn card. It could be dealing with a Capricorn. But this is about growing up, making your tough choices in order to get the real goal that you want met. You pulled the Gratitude. I think that, it's like, it's one thing to be grateful for somebody, but I think that this is kind of weird, but I think that like gratitude's great, but not getting the goal and having gratitude for the opportunity for almost greatness or close to it or not of it is different than gratitude of like, I fucking got it. And I think that that's the issue here with this Three of Pentacles reversed and this Queen of Wands reversed in the challenge position and the gratitude. It's like, okay, be grateful for the lessons. That's it. But like, don't be given so much gratitude for something that you're not getting anywhere that you want to. And Judgment with the Capricorn card, I mean, fuck. Like, you need to make an ultimate judgment about something that feels like
some gratitude.
It could pull you out of fucking a victim situation or you being victimized. Some Pisces are actually in some really abusive shit right now or being used. And the shadow to this Wheel of Fortune is the anger and change. See, I just said somebody's trying to control you, and you're actually letting them control it, and you're controlling the situation by allowing them to control it. And I think that, the shadow that's underneath this is there's some anger. There's like feeling change, and I think that you want to break the change, but it's almost like you have gratitude for the change. Ooh. That'd be like hanging out with Hannibal and like being like grateful for Hannibal for keeping you locked up in a prison. Pay attention to what you're doing right now and grow up, Pisces. Or you're just locked yourself away and you're not showing up for anything and you're feeling like hell. First house Neptune, Gemini, that's the delusion of what you want and that you figured it out, when it's like the universe is going to smack you in the face with truth, not in a negative way. Neptune just is like, this is a delusion. You're waking up from a delusion of what you thought was truth. It's not.
Getting yourself back into that. Maybe it's a routine, you know, maybe you've just kind of been, we get overwhelmed and easily consumed by thoughts. We get easily consumed by projects, by individuals, and it just gets wrapped us up, and it's this whirlwind, kind of like a washer dryer type of situation. It's just spinning and it just fucking stays damp, and it's just like, what the hell? I've been running this dryer for like an hour now and my towels are still freaking damp. And they're gonna get all musky if you don't maybe take it out and air dry it. Get yourself off that loop and get yourself out into yourself, out into nature. Maybe get a little fresh air up in your life. Whatever it takes to kind of kick that funk and to kick yourself into a recharge, into a regenerative state.
Yes.
Yes, you know, washer dryer situation and musky towels.
That sounds... Okay.
Air dry.
Air dry that shit.
Air dry.
We are on the last 3.
My eyes are so dry. Like,
Sag.
back here. What is it, Sag?
Sag, yeah. I'm just like
My eyes
floating
feel super
in,
crispy.
I feel like I'm floating in space, and I just ran into like this spaceship, and it's got like old Mark Twain, like, you know, fucking riverboat fucking paddles that's bringing in fucking energy, and I just like ran into it. Pop, 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 pop.
Crispy.
Fucking wonderful. It feels great.
Crispy.
It feels wonderful.
Ding dong to you.
Ding dong!
Ding dong!
All right, let's see what's going on here with Saggies.
Sag. Ding dong to you, Sag.
What's going on with Sag? I'm praying that Sagittarius don't keep getting the same message over and over and over and over and over again, and then acting like, no, I fucking understand, and you're wrong. The 5 of Wands reversed. The Empress is your challenge. The Page of Cups as the overall, and the way through this Empress is the challenge is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Well, 5 of Wands is just like, there is no tension, and we're talking about good tension. We're talking about like, there is just like no energy. The 5 of Wands just wants to avoid everything. It just wants to, I don't want to fucking cause any problems. And so you're dealing with somebody who's just like, oh, we're fine. Well, you're fine when you're not fucking dealing with anything. It's pretty easy when you're disconnected completely and there's zero passion. And it's easy to say that, oh yeah, everything's fine. No. 5 of Wands is like, you know, it's not about arguing. It's about getting involved, like getting in, like fucking working that shit through. And like sometimes things can get complicated, but it's about confronting things. And this is somebody not confronting, whether it's you or your partner, you're both, I feel, or if you're single, you're not willing to confront and get involved in the game. And you're not going to create shit. Nothing beautiful is going to come. The Empress involves everything, and she holds everything. She has all the ability to manifest all the most beautiful things in the world, and especially for love, and that's a challenge. You're feeling not beautiful. You're feeling like it's not creating anything. You might even be trying to have a kid or a baby right now. She rules, you know, maternal energy, and that's not going anywhere. Or maybe you want to start a family, and it's not going anywhere. Or maybe the family dynamic is like, you know, like you feel like you're holding on to everything and it's not creating anything good because there's just no confrontation about things. It's like, It's like two ships passing in the night. Or you're single and you just like, you keep trying to find the situations that are the easiest ones. And then second it gets a little hard, you peace out, or, you know. But the overall is like the Page of Cups. Like you need to, you need to speak what your feelings are. I know it could be more, you're sad, so it's like, it doesn't need to be heavy. But it definitely is like, I think, but it also is like, what are the opportunities that, there is going to be an opportunity that comes to you this week for ultimate love. What are you going to do about it? You know, you got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. It's like, drop what you're holding on to that, but you know what it is actually, especially with the Empress upright, but with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, like, I don't know. There's a situation here that there's a lot of weird money stuff. We're dealing with the biggest queens energy and well, an empress, but like we're dealing with a lot of self-worth, image, money, you know, maybe you don't feel beautiful anymore. Maybe you don't feel like your partner feels like you're beautiful. You need to let go of all that shit. Also, this is money issues that are causing problems that are not being confronted and avoided and ready for an explosion. And the overall here is like, you need to at least start dropping the truth of what your feelings are here so you can avoid a major blow up. Yeah, Temperance. Nurse just smoking the bong.
Littering ass.
You know what? I think that the issue is that you're just trying to play things naturally as they go, but that's going to cause a blow up because it's just like smoking weed and just being so high that you're not
Smoking the reefer.
You're not able to even compete when you're high. You know, it's like, but again, this Temperance also is like, you're like, well, I'm just going to let things be organic naturally. Yeah, it's so naturally organic that it's not fucking doing anything. So, you know, it's still. And it's energetically also not passionate. Like it's kind of turning the passion into me. Also, Five of Pentacles could be somebody who's trying way too hard in the game. It's like that person who's like, come on, put me in, coach, put me in, coach, put me in, coach. Fuck yeah. It's like, oh my God. And so there's a little bit too much going on. But I got a feeling that, you know, this is like Sag's energy. They're just like not in, and Sag risings and stuff. Like, you know, like look at Joe Biden. Like they did a Valentine's Day thing and they asked about his love and he was just like not even paying attention to his wife. Like he's just like fucking look at the dog. It's you.
Dogs are men's and women's best friends.
What's up with this Page of Cups? Ace of Cups reversed. I think that you're going to try all you can to kind of reset the emotions of a partnership. And I think that, I don't want to say you're going to fail, but I just got a feeling that the other party, right when maybe you're willing to do it, they're not. Or whether you're not willing to do it, they are, and you're not. There's something way off here. Something's not building. Something's not natural here, even though it feels like it's, you know, oh, well, this is just a natural part of the relationship. No, it's not. It's not natural to like be so pulled out. I feel like this is like let's not cause any tension and live a fake relationship. Fake relationship. Bells are ringing hard. And then Sages that are jumping into things just like to see what they are, but then not wanting to put any energy into it. Or you feel like that's coming at you constantly and you want to build something, but you know, you're also devaluing yourself or you're devaluing somebody else too by how you're doing that. You pulled the Mars card. Yeah, it's time to take force and definite action. And I think that, you know what, if you're a feminine, you need to find a masculine. I think that you're not dealing with a masculine at all. I think you're dealing with like the stone. He could be a stone masculine. If you're a man, like you got to take action again, because I got a feeling like, you know, you're dealing with somebody who doesn't really want you, you know. They don't want to put that much energy in. Magic, you know what, because you got the Empress as a challenge and you got the Queen of Pentacles in reversed, you know, magic doesn't come from a place when there's no substance and there's no physical touch, no passion. This is like fake relationship shit. It's like You need to find magic and masculine force and drive, and also that real sex, Mars. So, I would say that, sex is going to determine if it's magical or not. It's the shadow. Colorless angel. Sorry, fake relationship shit, weak relationships, but you're tied to them and you won't let go. Queen of Pentacles reversed. It's time to let go of that coin. That's the ultimate coin, which is not the ultimate coin. It's like the weakest coin, but you think it's the greatest one. Wow. Whoa. You got Jupiter and Aries in the 7th house. Time for you to expand what you really want and take the gift of what you really want in relationships. And, it's time to expand. The relationship needs to expand in a new identity or move to the next level. Are you going to get married or not? Are they going to make a family with you or not? Or are they just going to be the side dish or what? Or is there just weird shit? Or is there always the excuse? Like, oh, well, I'm still married and, fuck that shit.
But I'm going to leave them.
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing it so I can keep this, it's like, oh, that's going to go real well. You're going to go fucking really far.
Well, that 1 foot in, 1 foot out can drive us fucking mad, eh?
Yes.
The indecisiveness, and we allow it. We allow these individuals to perpetuate the issues. Maybe we're afraid to actually address them ourselves. Maybe that's what it comes back down to. We're afraid to once again look in the mirror and say, okay, what is it about this that I'm allowing them to bring me down, that I'm allowing them to keep me in this stagnant place of non-growth, of non-existence, of just fucking crap. That's it. Gotta call it what it is. It's just a fucking shitty situation that you're enabling yourself to be into. So what can you do? You can get up and leave. You can stand up for yourself. That's a good start right there. You stand up for yourself and say, no, I am worthy of something better. I'm worthy of this greatness, and I know what it is, and I can see it for myself. But you got to actually picture it. You got to actually go for it, and you got to actually leave the shit in the past.
So it'd be like I'm eating an Oreo right now, right?
Coming and going.
There's substance. There's fucking frosting in the middle of those 2 cookies.
Yeah.
And I get double stuff. That Sag thing is like, 1, not double stuff. 2, there's no frosting in the middle, and it's just 2 cookies, and you're constantly having to push them together, and it's like you're almost willing to find whatever you can to make it look like there's substance in between, and to fake it.
Mm-hmm.
The fake.
Amen, my brother.
The fake Oreos. There's nothing worse than, there's companies out there that try and copy that shit. It's fucking fake. Virgos.
Ding dong to you.
Virgos. Ding dong.
Ding dong to you, Virgo.
And the last sign will be after Virgo.
Ding dong to
you.
you.
The one, the only Geminis.
Ding dong to you, Geminis. Ding dong.
Ding dong.
Ding dong.
All right.
Ding dong.
All right,
to
Virgos. Les Virgins of the Zodiac. The Virgins of the Zodiac. Virgos maybe need a little bit more ding dongs.
Everybody could use a ding dong in their life.
Or
here's a ding dong for you.
maybe your partner has a very small and weak chimed ding dong.
Here's a dong for you.
It's a sad
Everybody
story
gets a dong.
when it's a
Everybody
small
gets a
ding dong. And when you chirp it, you can't hear anything at all or see it at all. It's so small. It's so small.
It's just a little ring-a-ding-dong.
In a world of imagination of ding-dongs, you will see, well, you won't, because it's so small.
Ding-dong.
Cause it's such a small little ding-dong. We got the Fool reversed. Oh my gosh, shit. Page of Pentacles as your challenge. 8 of Pentacles as your overall reversed. And you get through the challenge through the Lovers reversed. Okay. Beep, beep. You know, I was singing. We busted out. I was busting out lots of different versions of that ding dong song I just made up. I just think that, you know what? Fuck, you're being a ding dong, Virgo. Full reversed. Oh my gosh. Just playing this one like stupid. Like it's just like, I think that you might feel that way too. Just like, what the fuck am I doing? I feel like that you're also dealing with just somebody who has no fucking idea what they're doing with their life, the world. Like, and I think that you do, and you're just like, fuck. Or, you know, maybe you feel like you're dumb in the relationship and you feel like your partner's doing everything, and you're not knowing what to do. Or you're single and you just fucked up some situation, or you're fucking one up this week stupidly. Because you're so in your expected patterns of how you think, especially Page of Pentacles. Like, I feel like it's like hello, like it's pretty clear. The message is clear of what to do. Like what, you know what, with this Full reverse, it's like somebody just is saying stupid stuff. Somebody is not valuing you. Somebody doesn't even see the beauty, right? Because like Page of Pentacles would be like a love note about like how beautiful you are, and like spray a little bit of cologne or on that, or perfume. Like, you know, it's like you're not getting any of that shit. You're with somebody, they don't even think about it. All they think about is their friends or their projects or whatever. They don't think about you. Your overall here is the 8 of Pentacles reversed. It's time to like change this conveyor belt system and get off the same patterns. Like, I feel like you're just like, you know what? You're in a sweatshop relationship, or you're picking people who end up being sweatshops for you. And your way through this is stop putting so much love into fucking people that don't fucking show up and give you the fucking message of, you know, every night your partner should look at you and be like, you are fucking the most amazing thing in the world. You're not getting that. Some love went offline here. And you're dumb to just sit there and think, well, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Is it? 8 of Pentacles reversed again. Yeah, this is popping up twice now with your Fool card. I mean, you know what it is? It's like, you know, look at the strippers on the pole, Ken doll. At least he fucking knows what he's doing. He's talented. Like, you're so stupid at this point, and whatever the situation is, or you're dealing with somebody that has no idea what the fuck they're doing. They're trying something that they can't do. That's what it is. They're trying something that they can't do. Or they're trying to be you, and they can't be you. Or you're trying to be them, and you can't be them. Or you feel stupid because you're judging somebody off what they don't have or what they don't do if you're single, and you're ruining a bad situation because maybe they can't do exactly what you can't do, and that's not what you want. You don't want that, Virgo, in a relationship, do you? Somebody who does exactly what you do? Maybe portions of it, but if you do want somebody that does what they do, they already would do it. Like, you already would have known that prior, and now you're making the decision? Ace of Pentacles reversed with the 8 of... This is something trying to like be like, okay, like, and I'm not... It's not gonna be every partnered relationship or every relationship or every person you're dating or whatever. But I would say majority of Virgos, there is a very deep issue here of like, this is not going at all what you want. And your challenge is you still thinking it is. You keep telling yourself it's all good gravy, baby, but it ain't. This is no ding dong. This is fucking, this is just a pure, like the original, like this is just a ding dong.
Just a ho-ho?
Or ding dong, the witch is dead, you know? I mean, like, this is Ace of Pentacles reversed with an 8 of Pentacles reversed. And this is like, not knowing when to finally quit, like, and continuing to walk down to the nothingness of a love that is like the most smallest of loves that is possible, or chasing somebody that is the most smallest of love possible, or, you know, it's time to fucking face the truth. Like, you need to get deep and figure out why the love is not there. But this would be a huge reverse. This would be a huge fucking turn. Well, that comes up. Relief is going to come from Saturn return. You know, it's the full card. Yeah, you know what? You got to be an adult now. You got to make some big adult decisions. And you know what? You'll see relief finally. You got to face some shit. You got to make choices. You got to grow up. You got to be with somebody who's grown up too at your level, or you need to grow up to the level with somebody that's at your age. Maybe they're too, maybe you can't keep up with them at, you know, maybe, but I got a feeling you're dealing with, you know, your stupidity off. You know, somebody's not fucking that great. And it's time to be honest with yourself. Like, you'll see a lot of relief from it. Cause like, why are you holding on to this smallest, like, thing that is keeping a loveless situation there? It's like, because it's there, you're too afraid to see what else is out there, try something. I don't know. I mean, like, just obsession. I mean, obsessed with what? Obsessed with nothing. Obsessed with the idea that one day it will get better. When nothing's on the tracks right now, nothing's at the factory. This is a factory, like, slave labor relationship. Like, you're in it because it's just a manufactured relationship, manufacturing the idea of a relationship. Or please don't enter into that. Wow, South Node in Scorpio in the second. Talk about obsessed and delusional that it's creating something great, when the North Node you need to focus on in Taurus in the 8th house. Where's the real passionate, physical, oh my God shit? Because you're dealing with the, oh, I'm in something intense because I'm too afraid to, like, let go.
Sometimes you gotta let go. Just like how Rose let go of Jack. And
something's got to change dramatically to the better.
Yeah.
Or
maybe you're being a dum-dum out there, but that's okay, 'cause sometimes I'm dumb too.
I have one more thing to say. You know what it is? It's
back.
like giving too small of, like, you know what? It's okay. They changed a little bit. Now they're doing this. And it's like, oh, what are they doing? It's like, well, now before bed or before whatever, they walk by and wave good night.
Hi, good night, sweetie.
It's like okay. It's like celebrating the most tiniest victory and never getting a victory, and being like, oh yeah, and just everything on that. It's like, look at, they did that, and everybody's looking around like, wow, like that's fucking really
wow,
nice.
You a dum-dum.
Like wow.
You dumb-dumb.
Oh, he decided not to hit you today, or oh, he decided to actually, like, hang out with you for 5 minutes and then go back to his friends or go back to his whatever. Oh, he decided to hang out with you for 5 minutes. Oh, that's nice. Okay.
There we go. More of the story. Don't be a dum-dum.
Geminis. Last one.
Some strange ass noises going on out there.
I always make strange. Oh, out in weird land.
Yeah. Out in fucking zombie land.
No wonder I had my crazy nightmare last night.
Yeah, for sure.
Big, yeah, it was the gnarliest nightmare I've had since 2014. It wasn't the fact that the demons that were chasing me were and it was after, and I'm gonna put this out there, right? Because, like, I was like, somebody, or, you know, people were like, check out the Weeknd's halftime show, and I'm like, okay, and I was like, oh, looked pretty, like, he sounded great. And I
pretty
really
dope.
didn't pay attention too much to what was going on. And then I watched it again, and I'm like, wait, this looks really fucking demonic. There's this dude. I forgot his name. He's online, but just search it. It's like The Weeknd, Super Bowl, demonic thing.
Ding dong.
Ding dong. And all of the history. This guy has done all the history on The Weeknd. And it was kind of weird, too, because I was like, something felt off, but I was kind of like, oh, maybe, the country needs fucking a cool concert, and it looked cool. But then I was like, yeah, this is some satanic weird shit going on. And then if you watch all of his music videos and you look at the lyrics and you look at everything and you compare it to fucking some really demonic shit, that motherfucker's playing that motherfucking tune hardcore. Like, that motherfucker makes Marilyn Manson look
Your boys
weak.
did 2 tracks with him like 4 years ago.
No, and you know what? I love Daft Punk and everything, and I think that's why you don't see Daft Punk fucking showing up with him and shit.
Was that like 4 years ago, I think?
Correct.
Right.
But this
Pay attention to
and I know
the
it'll trigger a lot of people, because that The Weeknd was like the most searched person in 2020, pretty much.
Yeah, he was the second most played on Spotify in the world.
Like, that's how the
I
devil
just found out
works
about
to
him
get the
like
message
3
out.
months ago.
And if you think about the worst year for all of us in the world and the lyrics that guy speaks about, even some of the remixes, it's like fucking about my fucking cock and fucking, I'm gonna do this and, and like destroying crosses and fucking like fucking having his army of fucking Luciferian like fucking troops fucking on the fucking whole, like, they start small and they're all with red eyes, and the whole time there's red light on him and shit, and then fucking like, and then like him in that room with all those weird fucking shit. It's like fucking, like, go watch fucking Eyes Wide Shut, same shit. And then like an army of them on the field at the end, and like gloralizing, but they're all fucking. And if you think about this whole CV thing and everybody wearing masks and shit, and they're all masked, like, all weird, and fucking like the army of darkness fucking that he's ruling. Oh my God.
Darkness. Not up in here. Darkness. You will not.
So I'm not going to judge you if you listen to The Weeknd.
Darkness.
I'm just telling you, and it sucks. I'm a DJ. I have like some remixes of The Weeknd with Daft Punk. I'm a Daft Punk fan, but fucking, I have no longer ever going to listen to The Weeknd. Ever. I'm not going to play a Weeknd track ever again in my life. Ever. The shit attached to that shit, after watching this guy break down the whole story of his whole like journey of the last 8 years and how he got in, the record label, the fucking all the shit, I'm like, oh my God. The way he kills himself and he kills other people in music videos, it's fucking disgusting. I didn't know that about him. I didn't watch his music videos. That is just not fucking morally at all spiritual. It's like the highest regard to the dark you could give. And that is just not what I'm about. That is not what it's about. That guy is the biggest facade of fucking shit. It's not even, actually, you know what? He's not even a facade. He fucking is owning demonic Luciferianism shit and fucking loving it. And everybody is following it. And everybody's singing that. The lyrics are disgusting. They are not moral at all. Zero. None. No light in any of his lyrics at all. Zero. Zilch. Dark. Darkest shit ever. And that's right. Somebody just said that's what pop music is. That's why I fucking don't listen to pop music. I already had to sit through fucking Ed Sheeran in 2018, and I said Ed Sheeran's cool, though, because of the fact that he told everybody in the crowd, he's like, okay, I get it. If you're a guy here or you're a dad, like, you're here for your girl or you're here for your kid, and, like, I get it. I want to say that you might not like my music or whatever, but I respect you for being here because you're a great father, a great boyfriend, a great husband, or whatever. And I was like, okay, you know what? That motherfucker just straight up said, I know there's a bunch of you in the crowd that don't like me, and that you're a good person for doing this for your partner, your daughter, your whoever, right? And I had respect. So, but not enough to be like, not like, you know, I'm bumping Ed Sheeran all day. You know what I mean? All right.
And
Gemini. You got the Knight of Swords reversed. You got the King of Swords upright. You got the Eight of Swords reversed. And the way through this challenge is the Moon reversed. Well, since the collective was the Knight of Swords, you're doing the opposite of what the collective's doing, which I would say is like you need to kind of maybe you need to like put a little bit more effort in. Maybe you know, it's like you're not it's like you're not doing shit here. Maybe that's right at all too. You might be also trying to fucking jump into fucking some crazy situation with some random situation that is fucking like not making sense, and actually you're like looking to be rescued. If you're looking to be rescued, I'd say if you're looking to be rescued, you're gonna get fucked over bad. Or if you think, you know, like you're avoiding a lot about relationships. Like, to be honest with you, like you don't want to fix shit. You don't want to fucking enter into shit. You just want like some epic situation to come into your life when it's like you got to do the work. Like you just expect it all to happen to you. And that's the issue is you got the King of Swords. And I feel like with your challenge here, it's like you're clear, but you're not clear. You're like, and I'm going to be honest, this Eight of Swords reversed, I think it's like you're trying to avoid toxic vibes and energy, but that's what you get stuck in yourself. It's not anybody else. So it's like maybe you're attaching toxicity and blame on other people when it's really with Eight of Swords, it's your own shit. And I think it's because maybe you're not clear with communicating at all, and that's an issue. You might be thinking, oh, I need to, or you can't deal with anybody who's straight with you. Like you almost want somebody who's not straight, who acts the thing and is like just gonna lie and just gonna tell you fucking crazy shit that you want to hear. When that's not gonna do you good. You got the Moon reversed here to get through this. Like you are holding your emotions down so deep, and you need to stop doing that, because what's happening is like you're suppressing so much, and nothing can become clear when you suppress, and only weird situations and weirdos come in. Knight of Swords reverse is fucking weirdos that are fucking creepy. And then this overall is like, hey, like don't get yourself trapped in some fucking horrible situation that you choose to get trapped in, especially when it's a creepy fucking weirdo that, like, honestly, this would be like somebody that you've never met, that's like off a weird dating site, or that's on a street that hits on you crazy. In your relationship, if you're partnered, like you already know, like there's no saving the relationship that you're in, right? Because you're not you've already been clear, but it's almost like denial of the clarity, like, and so you're acting and you're suppressing so much, and you got to stop that. You pulled the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like you know what you want, and I think that you have high standards, so don't lower your standards this week for some fake. I feel like, you know, it kind of reminds me of like that. Who's that dude who fucks all those bitches on Instagram all day?
Dan.
It's like that dude. It's like a guy like that. It's like some energy that's just like you're disposable, and you're almost like, but he'll say whatever you want. Like, I'll give you everything. I'll do this for you. But you know what I mean? You're like, okay. It's like, don't be that fucking dumb. Know your worth. Know your value. Know what you really want. And I think that that's your issue. You don't know what you want. You're being maybe pretty Gemini right now and wanting to play around. But I also feel like you're being used by somebody who either you're staying with and you're not in a relationship. I'm getting this one really strong. You're staying with somebody multiple times a night or something. They're fucking telling you you're going to do all this shit, and they're not going to. They're treating you like shit. You're in a relationship where there's no fixing something, and you are suppressing that, and you are not willing to deal with it, and it's time to fucking finally get out of it and get out of the toxic energy, and you got the death card reversed. You're too afraid. You're afraid to end something. And then also at the same time, you're afraid to... I got a feeling there's like multiple stories here. This is a lot of Gemini energy, of course, right? But I got a feeling like something's not dead yet that might not be bad, and then something that's bad, you're too afraid to be dead. Because Gemini is always talking to fucking so many people. You got the provoker, so you got the Grand Cross. This is fucking, this is a serious situation here. Don't get into a stupid one, especially one that, doesn't respect you. I got a feeling like you're dealing with somebody who doesn't respect you, and I got a feeling like you gotta like not let this person keep provoking that, and you being the provoker that's accepting it. Why is that? What is going on? Grounded. I don't know how you're going to be grounded in anything right now, to be honest with you, until you really look at the real grounding, which is you need to open up your emotions to where you know the truth of emotion is, and where somebody can speak to you clear in truth, because you're choosing to ground in really crazy, weird shit. That has to deal with like weird people that fucking, or your relationship has no grounding at the moment. And so it's in crazy town now. And I think that grounding is like only going to come from people that want to help you understand your emotional stuff and be clear with it. But it's like you're not revealing it. You're like allowing people to show all their cards, and you don't show your cards too. I'm going to be honest with you, especially because King of Swords, you're not being fucking honest at all, and that's why you're attracting dishonesty with people who won't be clear with you. And your partnership, you're just in denial of clarity. So it's just an uncomfortable situation. Some shit's getting provoked and some weird shit. Let's see what the shadow is. Wow, addicted. I think that you're addicted to pain and suffering that you choose to do on yourself. Some people might be to blame, some people might not be, but you're the one who's choosing it because you're choosing to suppress your emotions and not deal with... I think that you don't deal with anybody that's coming from truth. I think that you are afraid to deal with that. I think that you're afraid to ground into that because you might think it's boring, or you're addicted to this kind of like, you kind of like the toxic energy. You kind of want somebody toxic. And I got a feeling like that's not fucking healthy, because that's provoking and getting rid of your own values. And it's just, Knight of Swords reversed is just fucking like, it could be crazy town to the extreme, or it could be the most boring, like bullshit shit. And now you have to like provoke them to get out, but you weren't being honest, and you were doing weird shit. And, I got a feeling it's like, you need to get to the bottom of like, where's the energy where it's like, they're not toxic, they're fucking emotionally open, and they're clear. That's your grounding that you're looking for. But like, you're avoiding those situations and looking for the crazy ones. I don't know why. Or staying in the crazy fucking ones where you suppress your emotions and you like to have them suppressed, and they don't get emotional with you. That's going to be a sign. They won't get emotional with you. That's going to be the sign. Jupiter in the 8th in Pisces. Oh, talk about fucking... You know what? Are you a little sex addict just looking for a bang this week? Are you just looking for fucking the dark, like, shadow shit? It's so funny that I brought up this whole weekend conversation and darkness and shit. And it's all sexual and all that crazy shit. Like, Why don't you expand into just deep intimacy with spirituality instead of like looking for like this weird shadow part of yourself to experience this like little magical dream that actually could fucking take you to a place that I don't think you're prepared for. Or you're also needing to look at what needs to end that needs to clear your soul. And it's definitely something that's not coming from a spiritual place. This person is not spiritual at all.
Yeah, we can't be addicted. We'll stay with that theme. We can't stay addicted to the indifferences in life. You know, we can't just be fine with the stagnation. We can't just be fine with being mediocre when it comes to our passions and when it comes to ourselves. You know, and our accountability. And you know, you have the ability to change, but are we going to actually see it? You know, are you going to actually pull yourself up out of that and say, no, I know my worthiness, and now no longer am I just going to exist in this relationship. No longer am I just going to exist in this life. The time is now, and the time is now for change, and the time is now to actually put forth that energy. And that applies to all of us out there, I believe. You know, we can change this moment at any time once we realize that we're sick and tired of that same old shit. But we just got to realize it, and we just got to look, and we just got to be honest with ourselves. So that's what we got to do. Do all those things. Give it a little laugh in there, give it a little cry in there, give it a little thought in there, like the great Jimmy V says, and that's a full fucking day.
Somebody says, don't tell, did I hear it's festival season? Don't tease. You know, I love festivals and festival season and shit, but Gemini, if you're going to just be like, oh, I'm going to go fucking make free love and with these crazy fucking situations, like fucking good luck. I don't know if you're walking out of that tent.
Tent City, baby.
Well, hope you enjoyed this wonderful, wonderful weekly horoscope. Of course, we ain't gonna bullshit you when the energy's. I mean, this is Saturn square Uranus. This is Mars square Venus. This is the moon, the sun coming into Pisces. Like, talk about fucking needing to really look at our patterns and our craziness that we can step into in our realities, and the hard decisions that we need to make, and what we need to disconnect from, and what's the real connections, and what also is really the best quality, but also not disconnect from what's the goodness, and trying to create from the disconnected place, and then at the same time, with all this Pisces that comes in with the sun and Neptune there, it's like, oh God. And like, you know, like really being aware of like fucking where you're just fucking being crazy. So I love you all. We'll see you on High Vibe.
See you on High Vibe. That's where the weird shit is down.
Peace.